Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We are very excited to have you with us today, and we are here at Soldier Valley Spirits in La Vista. Really excited. We have a full online broadcast today, about 3 hours, and what we're doing is we're raising money for Moving Veterans Forward, a nonprofit here located in Omaha, Nebraska, or Papillion, or La Vista, whatever you want to call it. So you'll hear from Ron Hernandez. You'll hear some incredible stories as well, some of our partners that have joined us. My name is Jay Morales, and if you can hear us okay, would you do me a favor? Would you just drop a number 1 in the comments? Would you just comment where you're listening from, how you found out about the event? Love to really see where everybody is tuning in from. Again, we'll be going till 6 p.m. tonight, and this will be one of the longest broadcasts I've ever done. I did something similar to this a few months ago where we were doing the online 11-hour telethon. It was just another veteran cause. So I just want to be mindful. So again, I want to say thank you for all those who served our military. Thank you for all of those who are continuing to serve. And you'll get to learn how Moving Veterans Forward is an instrumental organization when it comes to keeping everything going and making sure that our veterans, people who have served our country, are not home insecure or homeless. So you'll get a lot of guests coming up. If you want to know who's coming up soon, all you have to do is check on the comments in the comments section. Our first guest will be Jeff Hadden. He is the founder here, and really humble guy. Can't wait to pick his brain and talk to him. And again, thank the great folks here at Soldier Valley Spirits at Patriarch Distillery for having us out. And I'm excited to learn about them, about who they serve and what things are going on as well. You'll hear from Kim Davis, their marketing person as well. Kim is a good friend of mine. And I can't wait to see. Is that Taylor? Oh, it's Taylor. Hey, how are you? I have my back to you. That's great, right? So I'm going to get started here with Jeff. So Jeff, whenever you're ready, I'm ready for you. Just get comfortable into the chair next to me. Jeff is the founder of Patriarch Distillery. And so I want to get this right, Jeff. Let's just jump right into it. Talk to me about, is it Soldier Valley? Is it Patriarch Distillery? How did the name come about?
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, so, Patriarch Distillers is our company's name, parent name. And when I started the company, I wanted to have options if I wanted to launch other names, other brands. So Soldier Valley Spirits is the current brand it's really the only brand that we are on. We've been at it now almost 8 years. So,
yeah. I remember just hearing of your business when it first started. We were pretty excited. You were one of the first in the area to bring a true full-blown distillery, or one of the founders, I would say, right? I mean,
yeah, I'm number 3 in the state.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. How did it start? So what did you just say one day? Were you always a whiskey enthusiast?
I was. I worked for a number of years in the wine and spirit wholesale side, and found early on, first of all, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, like everybody else, I think.
Let me know when you know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
No kidding. But I found I had a pretty decent palate for whiskeys and bourbons. When you're sitting in those 8 o'clock meetings, you're testing and tasting and sampling, and that's part of the business.
Right.
And
right.
So I did a lot of tasting, and I found that I had a pretty good palate to turn, could make out different grains, and so I wanted to learn more, which led me to taste more.
Yes.
And start acquiring a bunch of different whiskeys and bourbons, and then don't try this at home, but then I tried my hands at making a little bit just to kind of experiment, and which is not something you want to do or should do.
No, don't try this at home.
Try that at home.
Yes, right.
But I did that for a while, to the point where one day my wife came up to me and said, "Time out. It's time to either do what you want to do and go forward or stop it. So here we are.
So it was truly like not a hobby, but it started out as let me just see what I can do.
It did start that way. And really, I'll just say this, I was working on a business plan with somebody else at one point who has exactly what he has right now. And he was zigging and I was zagging, and I left October of, I think, 2013.
Okay.
Started driving home. I was like, man, that really stinks. He's we're going to part ways here. But I never thought I'd go out and do it on my own. But as I was driving home that night, the canteen, the World War II canteen bottle came into my head, and I was like, that'd be something pretty cool. I don't know if anybody's ever doing that.
Yeah.
But it's a piece of Americana that people can completely identify with, whether you're served or not. And I hired a patent attorney and found out that it was it was available.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So and again, and I know that you're extremely humble, and I just want to get this out of the way, but I really want to recognize, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And I mean this, Jeff, we meet a lot of brothers and sisters, and sometimes we forget, and, we're reminded by other things that, we are veterans, we are people, we can still continue to serve just like you're doing now. How are you doing that through the business? So I'm looking at this big logo in front of me, Soldier Valley 6.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Well, that wasn't always our logo. So we've definitely have, grown into this, what we are today, and we're continuing to grow. But our first logo was, believe it or not, was a big oak tree.
Okay.
Patriarch.
Yes.
It means head of family. And so
Yes.
my dad's side, my dad grew up in Soldier, Iowa, in a small town on a farm, which we currently still have, and it still grows plenty of corn and beans, and then my mom's side is all prior military for the most part, most of it. But the 6 is something that we kind of fell into in little ways. Our vodka is a 6 times distilled vodka.
Yes.
And our bourbon is a 6-year-old bourbon. So I kind of used that as, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the whole giving back and having each other's back. I thought that'd be a great logo. So we kind of, I added the stars, with the 6 o'clock star being bigger than the other 3, the 12, 3, or 9. And that became our logo. And so there's a lot of meanings there. It's, our whole core values are faith, family, and freedom, which happens to be the 6th letter of the alphabet.
Oh man, that is way too. So me just looking at the logo, not knowing and learning all this now is giving me chills. I'm serious. Like, okay, check your 6.
Yeah.
6th letter of the alphabet.
Yep.
And your core values, and then your distillation process, 6 times, right?
And it wasn't done on purpose. All
Right.
that was just kind of, oh wow, what a coincidence.
I would say that's more than a coincidence. That's an alignment. Did you, when you first started your operation, did you think it was going to be heavily themed, at least, or there will be lines themed in veteran or military or patriotic kind of themes? Is that something you aspired to, or did it just morph that way?
No, it's something that we, really inspired to, and I've had, I have not done this on my own. I've had a supportive, loving wife and family, my parents, my in-laws. I've had great friends that have helped me along the way. I've got, somebody I want to give a shout out to, Rich Hagedorn, who was, did 20 plus years in the Army, and he really has helped us to grow this company from the very beginning. And so it started out wanting to help people. And in doing so, we did that from day one. I always wanted to give back. That was part of, I think, our mission. It was to make great spirits that people can enjoy responsibly. But it's kind of a means to the end for us. We wanted to make good spirits so we can help our brothers and sisters that are in need. So I guess it's always been there. Rich happened to kind of do the decoration, so to speak, and started hanging a bunch of things and collecting, and so it's kind of been his baby and what we have today. I just wanted to make spirits. We started with a little shack here and a fence, and had a tasting room that just had a bar and a fridge, and thought we'd start making cocktails. It was just kind of an afterthought, and it's turned into this. And we have a new building that we haven't moved into, but it's about 3 times the size of this that we're hopefully sometime next year we'll it's right now it's full of bottles and different things.
Sure.
But yeah,
it's exciting. Fun. It's fun for me to watch, from afar and see an organization like yours grow. And I think sometimes we don't always get to tell the story. I think someone experiences, your spirits, and they're like, "Oh, this is cool." Well, there's a lot of meaning behind it, and I think as my job is to make that connection with people, especially podcasting, right? I mean, it's one thing just to get on there and talk about yourself, but it's the other thing to connect with someone else and share that story, and that's what leads us to here today, Operation 6. This came up, Kim Davis, your marketing person, came up to us, and we came up to her and said, "Hey, what a great fit." And, have you already, I believe you already had, or she's had a connection with Ron Hernandez, is that right, with Moving Veterans Forward?
Yes, and what a great organization that Ron has put together there.
It's incredible.
It really is.
You know how I met him, Jeff? I donated a couch like 3 years ago, and I know he didn't say this, but he's like, "Okay, that's cool. You donated a couch," right? I was just learning, and I sat there and I watched them, and I said, "Hey, are you guys volunteers, or are you, are you?" And the guys were like, "No, we're just volunteering here." And we met their volunteer coordinator, and then something woke up in me and said, "Hey, Jay, I like to do fundraisers, Jeff. I like to be involved, but man, I just, it's like me throwing a tic tac to a whale, right? Sometimes I don't have that big checkbook or don't have that all the time in the world, so I find myself helping where I can." And so when I met Ron, learned more of him, I've dedicated a whole lot of focus. And I was home insecure at one time here when I lived in Bellevue, right at Offutt Air Force Base, not knowing where my next, bed was. And anyway, when you get with an organization like that, it's not hard to get behind. No. It's not hard to get behind,
Well, and if I can use the baseball analogy,
yeah.
You talk to managers, they make their living off of singles, right?
Right.
That's how you make your living. If it's one single at a time, it's great to get the home run or triple or doubles, but singles, and that's kind of what we're here. What I feel like anyway with my company, we're not hitting home runs, but we're just putting one foot in front of the other, and every little bit helps.
I'm telling you, and so back to good spirits, right? Especially good bourbon. This is just, I'm a bourbon and whiskey enthusiast, right? Just
God bless you.
Thank you, brother. I'm telling you, and if you're not, it's almost un-American. but I'm saying, and when I say enthusiast, I've got 120 bottles at home, and I can't say that I collect them because you can't collect if you drink, right?
Right. There you go.
They just sit there and they transfer. No, but I think sometimes the stories that surround places like yours here, when people get together and they share a drink, share a table, share a chair, this is where some of the magic happens, right? It's not in boardrooms. It's not in corporate America. It is right here, boots on the ground behind me. These people are here because they are here to support Moving Veterans Forward today. We're blessed enough to utilize your facility as a vessel to get the message out. And I can tell you, the messages all week, "Hey, are they doing tastings there? Are they?" You bet they are. Whatever it is,
Absolutely.
Come on down. Bring your taste buds down. But, Jeff, if I can ask you, what you want most of the community to know, and how they can, help what you help. Sometimes it's hard for us to ask help. And I know that people always ask you for help, or they ask, how can we partner up, or how can we align? What's some of the way, or some of the ways that people can help or they can get involved here?
Great question. So, as I mentioned earlier, we've been open. Our doors have been open almost 8 years, and 8 years in February.
Congrats.
Thank you. And I'm a big believer in you got to win your backyard, and we haven't won our backyard even yet. There's places around town that still have never heard of who we are and what we are and what we do. So I guess my answer to that would be, if you don't see it, we're at your local watering hole or at your local liquor store. Ask for it, because by putting it on the shelf for every bottle we sell, we give a portion back to helping nonprofit veterans organizations, like moving veterans forward. So that's really what we're all about.
I would say that, there's different groups, Facebook groups, and I've posted you in our groups before. Bourbon is such a personal thing, right? And I can tell you that there are people out there that have larger advertising budgets, 10 times larger than the average companies. What I think people need to remember is we need to support local, and I know you're not saying this, I'm saying this. You guys are blood, sweat, and tears here to put out a quality product that, one, the byproduct of it is serving our community. Number two is it's really damn good, and I'm not just saying that. But some of your competitors are spending millions and millions of dollars to tell the general public that. From my promise is, I promise to always be a soldier for you, if you would, boots on the ground, because when it comes to it, you've had some great things happen. I don't know what you're at liberty to speak about, where your trip just happened, but I think you guys are more than just the bottle. I think it's the people that you surround yourself with.
Yeah, there's no doubt you have to surround yourself with good quality people. I've got a great team. We're continuing to build on that team since we hitched our wagon with Lee Greenwood.
Okay, I wanted you to say it. I didn't want to say it because I didn't know if I was supposed to or not.
No. Proud to say that we are. I'm partnered with Lee Greenwood, who is, a national icon and a national treasure with his song "God Bless the USA." But that's probably the only good thing that came out of the pandemic this last year was Lee. We, like everybody else who makes whiskeys and bourbons, we all tried to do our best in making hand sanitizer, and we did a pretty good job. We helped our community out. Close to 10,000 gallons we gave away. Wow. That caught some national media, which was completely not expected. And, next thing you know, we've got some cryptic calls and stuff coming in. Somebody wants to know if you're interested in maybe working with somebody out of Nashville. And so after a few calls and found out who it was, I made a trip to Nashville and had about 2 days and very, very intense. Yes.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Lee and Kim Greenwood were not in the room, but he has a good team, a very solid team, and we went round and round and got to know each other like you have to. And then the last day, I was invited to Kim and Lee's house where we had brunch, and they had like a little Lazy Susan on their kitchen table, which had every one of our products. And I'm not sure how they got it.
Wow.
But they had every one of our products there.
Yeah.
And I proceeded to kind of tell the story of who we are, what we are, and why this bottle has my grandfather on it and what he did, and came back from World War II weighing less than 100 pounds. And, this bottle had a great uncle that stormed the beaches of Normandy on the second wave, and was also in Korea and Vietnam, and so on. So I have lots of family members that served, and I looked up. I was just telling the story like I'm telling it to you.
Yeah.
And I wasn't making a lot of eye contact, I guess, but I looked up, and Kim Greenwood is just in tears.
Oh man.
And moved, and I was, first of all, I was kind of embarrassed that I didn't, but right then and there, the little portfolio went open, and the manager slid it over to Lee, and Lee took out this piece of paper that was already drawn up. He signed his name, said letter of intent. Wow. That was August of last year, of 2020. And the rest they say is history. And it's ongoing. We're currently in 10 states. We'll be in 17 states by the end of first quarter of next year.
That's awesome.
But I don't want to forget who we are and where we come from, right? So that's the big thing is boots on the ground, as you mentioned earlier, is, building this team and doing the things that we do good, and that is, and do well, I should say, and that is, continuing to make really, I feel, quality products at a great price. And Lee is just, he's out there promoting us. He's thrilled to be partner with us, and our core values met up from the very get-go. He's about faith. He's about family.
Yes.
He's about giving back.
Absolutely. Well, he was here.
He was,
And it was kind of secret, wasn't it, or not really, or because here's how I found out about it. I remember because we were getting ready for our 50-mile march, and Kim and Paul were mentioning like, oh, we're gonna get some. We're gonna meet Lee Greenwood. I said, what? When? They're like, oh, really soon, and it was a blur because again we were concentrated on the march. But I said, man, it would be so cool. It was just, I heard of it. That's the first time I've heard of it. It was like a kid in a candy store. It cannot be any more American than Lee Greenwood. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree. And, he's written, people don't realize, I didn't realize all the other hits that he had written and hits for other people.
Yes, he's a songwriter for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he is exactly what you see on TV. I mean, or what you see is what you get with him. And they are philanthropists. They are all about giving back. Kim Greenwood is a former Miss Tennessee, and she has a company that helps empower women become independent, self-thinking, self-starting entrepreneurs. So she's got her own business that I admire and what she stands for. Going out on tour this next year is Lee's, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'll say it. It's his last big year of touring.
Okay.
He's just about got every weekend booked.
Man.
But then he's going to take a well-deserved, time to spend with his family. He's 40, just celebrated his 40th year in showbiz, and we celebrated that down in Huntsville, Alabama. Had people like Crystal Gale.
Oh man, was her hair still long?
It's very long.
Oh my God.
Jamie Johnson.
Oh my
So people from all different eras of country music and So it was a great and it announced basically at the start of his final tour. So
wow,
he'll continue to do some shows here and there, but the day-to-day, weekend-to-weekend stuff will start to kind of slow down a little bit. Sure.
Well, Jeff, I just want to say thank you. I want to be respectful of your time, and I know that this event will start ramping up, but thank you for supporting this mission for moving veterans forward. Thank you for allowing us to use your facilities and all the silent auction items that you guys have set up.
Yeah, pretty cool. Come on down. I mean, and Jay, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely.
And appreciate you, brother, very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys join us here at Patriarch Distillers, correct? It's distiller.
Yes.
Yes, not distillery.
Yeah, it's a distillery.
Well, but still, let me get it right, right? You paid thousands to make that right, or lots to make that right. So I'm really grateful that you're here. And if somebody slipped over some of your darkest bourbon, I wouldn't be mad during the broadcast.
We'll do it.
But I'm happy to buy some on the way home. So, folks, if you're in the area, we'd like you to come down. We'll be here till 6 p.m. That's Jeff Hadden, the founder of Patriarch Distillers and Soldier Valley, one of the brands that they have here. Really excited, again, to learn about their logo. If you look at the logo up on the screen right now, it's pretty cool. And, distilled 6 times. The letter F is the 6th letter in the alphabet. So that's, freedom, faith, family. That's some of their core values. So just really excited. Here next, we're going to have Ron Hernandez as soon as he gets ready to just take the seat right next to me. And Ron, whenever you're ready, that would be great if you could just step on up, Ron Hernandez, if anyone sees him there. Is Ron back there anywhere? I'm sure. He's probably moving somebody right now, probably picking up some boxes somewhere. So if anybody will let Ron know it's his time to speak here. All right. So if you all online will let us know when you make that donation, there is a way to make a donation up on your screen. So all you have to do is click on that posted link. And right there, it says the link is posted in the description. Comment on your donation so we can thank you. Again, all of the funds today that are being donated through that link will be matched. You can do a yearly match, or you can do a yearly donation, a one-time donation, a monthly donation. So there's many different options. We will help you understand any way that you can. If you have any questions, just put them here in the comments. This is Ron Hernandez. Ron, can you hear through the headphones pretty well?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, Ron, I met you, as I was telling Jeff, I met you about almost 3 years ago. A little longer, maybe?
A little bit longer than that.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, man, I can't remember what I had for breakfast. But I remember just donating a couch because my friend Rachel from Benchmark said to do so. She'll be here today, by the way. So is that loud or too soft?
No, I'm good. I'm
Okay,
good.
good. All right, good. So I met you, and I could have just sat there, done nothing, and learned no further, right? But my curiosity got me when I saw exactly what you guys did. Will you tell everybody, number one is thank you for your service, Ron, to this country. We are in debt to you for all the sacrifices that you've given. Number two is give us the background on moving veterans forward and why you started it.
Moving Veterans Forward, we're based in Papillion, Nebraska. That's a suburb of Omaha for the people that aren't familiar with the Omaha-area.
Right.
Basically, the main mission and the main core of Moving Veterans Forward is when a veteran has become homeless, we partner with several different agencies here in the Midwest. After that agency gets the veteran back on their feet, with their benefits, money, with their pension, mental health, recovery, because of drugs and alcohol. Unfortunately, all these demons are all connected once you hit rock bottom. We get to play Santa Claus every day. And we all know what's going on right now with the holidays. Christmas is coming. Ooh, almost lost our headphones. We have a warehouse in Papillion. The caseworkers will bring the veteran out to our warehouse, and they shop. They get everything free that's in the warehouse, from a toothbrush to a bed, a dresser, everything that we have in our home today, me, you, and our friends and our family, that these guys don't have, we give to them for free. And not only do we give it to them for free, we actually move them, and we put everything into their home.
We also have, there's someone here that would like to, wow, we have a surprise for you, Ron. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's get that surprise here. So I kind of knew, but I didn't know.
Okay.
So, Ron, let's have the folks who are going to make the presentation up here. I know we might not be able to hear it all, but we will try. Anytime Kathy's involved in something, you know something good is about to happen. So Kathy kind of gave me a little bit of heads up here. So Kathy, if you'll kind of share with Ron here a little bit, let's have you, Ron, why don't you stand there and give Kathy the seat just for a few minutes. And give her that. This is such a great surprise. This is live and I love it. Everybody okay? All right, here we go. So, this is Kathy. Kathy, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you today?
I'm great. Will you talk right into that? There you go, dear.
Okay.
All right. So
This is a first.
hey, there's a first for everything. First of all, Kathy's one of my author friends. She's a writer and she's awesome, and she has a blog you should follow. But so Kathy saw this event happening, and Kathy, you're connected, obviously, to the VFW Post
2503.
2503.
Yes.
And you said, hey, we have a surprise. And I'm going to let you divulge the surprise now.
Well, actually, we need to call the people from the Street Riders.
Oh, the
Car
Street
Club
Riders.
up.
Okay,
Right,
let's call the
right.
Street Riders up. Let's have them. Are they here?
They are here.
Awesome,
Yes.
awesome.
Now we get to switch again.
Yes, here we go. Here we go. This is awesome. If you want to talk right into the mic here. Okay, I'm Jay Morales.
Hi, Jay. I am Jim Carls from the Midwest Street Route Association of Omaha.
Awesome.
And I have with me today in the background here, we have Duke Humphrey and Linda Humphrey. They are associated with the VFW post that you spoke of
Yes.
a little bit ago.
Yes.
And then we have Clarence Devney, who's the chairman of our board of directors. And we have a little bit of a kind of a surprise, I guess, as you called it earlier.
Yes.
But for moving veterans forward, our car club, I'll give you a little bit of history.
Yeah,
Our-
let's
our-
talk about that first.
Sure.
Let's make everyone
Sure.
wonder what's in there.
What's in there, yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome.
So our club was founded in 1969 by a group of guys that just had old cars that they had modified. It was a lot of them came from maybe racing background or whatever, and were no longer racing, and it was an organization of like-minded people that had a common interest in the hot rods. So that was 1969. The club started with about 12 people. It's been going strong ever since. We currently have right at about 60 members.
64. I love Linda.
Linda's our treasurer, and she knows every little detail down to the.
Are you
nitty-gritty.
still accepting members, Linda? Okay, good. So and I'm sure that we'll get the link on how to find you
Sure.
as well, so that
Yeah.
I want to make sure that there's enthusiasts out there. Sometimes things are well kept secrets, right?
Yeah.
So 64 and growing, Linda.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So our club, we do several things throughout the year. We have car shows and do things as fundraisers, that allow us then this time of year to help pay that forward. One of the things that is really near and dear to us are veterans organizations.
Thank you.
And I know that, Moving Vets Forward is one of them that really does good work out there. And there's a lot of need for what they do.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate everything that they do. So yeah, that's why we're here today.
That's awesome, and I can hear the clarity in your voice on what you guys are clear on who you want to help.
Yeah.
Just know when you help an organization like them, they're small.
Yep.
There is hardly, if none, overhead. Right? I mean, there's bills to pay, there's things to run, but it's not like a administratively run organization.
Exactly, and that's one of the things we really try to do our due diligence every year when we're doing figuring out who we're going to give to for charity. Is that's one of the things we look for, is that an organization that's not really top heavy in administrative fees and
Right.
and large salaries going to guys at the top, and only a fraction of your donation makes it to the people that really need it. So that's one of the things that brought us to this, and so
I mean,
we're very, very, very honored to be able to help too.
well, you can see the guy standing right behind you, obviously Ron Hernandez, but beyond that's the same guy who unloads and loads trucks
Yeah,
day in, day out. Same guy who's rallying his own troops day in, day out, and blood, sweat, and tear in it. And I'm sure it's not just a 6-day operation, right? It's probably an 8-day operation. Let's
right.
be honest, right?
exactly.
So when you're able to do this, do you want to give the reveal now?
Sure.
Are you?
Let's
yeah.
do that. So,
Yes, this is awesome.
Ron,
Oh yeah.
on behalf of Midwest Street Route Association, we would like to present Moving Veterans Forward with a check for $1,000.
Wow. So Ron, am I correct? Will if that is deposited today, that will get matched? Is that right? Yes. So that gets matched to $2,000.
That's awesome.
Woo!
Ron, thank
Wow.
you for everything that you guys do for our veterans.
No, thank you for your support.
Awesome. And then you have another surprise.
So we have somebody here from Guitars for Vets.
Yes. Where's Taylor at? Taylor, we transformed her name. It used to be, we were not going to say her name, but it's now Taylor. We're calling her Taylor. Yes, that is her stage name.
That's
her
stage
that's
name,
her
okay.
performance. Yep, that's her artist name.
So
I should say artist name.
So maybe an autograph later.
Yes. Don't forget us kids. Don't forget. So let's
So-
talk a little bit about
Yeah,
Peggy.
so,
Or Taylor.
Again, Guitars for Vets is another organization that we've done a little bit of research on, and we found that they do very good things also.
Absolutely.
To help our veterans and to, kind of, I think it's so important. We have, veterans coming back here, and that, we have to engage them. In
Because they
things
won't
and-
ask for help. That's
Right.
a problem.
They're very
We've
yeah.
been taught to not ask for help.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
when you get home, you don't want to bother anybody.
Right.
You just want to get
Yeah.
lost in the place that you live, or sometimes be just displaced. And,
Right.
and then the cycle of life takes over you, and then all of a sudden you're stuck in a bad place.
Right.
Places like Guitars for Vets are pretty awesome too.
It's a great organization. So as we were going through our ideas this year for charities and places to donate, Guitars for Vets were at the top of our list as well. And with that, I would like to present Guitars for Vets with a check for $1,000.
Ooh, yes. Awesome. This is so awesome. This is what I'm talking about. I didn't know the pleasant surprises either, and when Kathy said, "Hey, we'd like to present something." Every time she tells me that, I just know it's good.
Yeah?
I just know it's good. So
Hopefully this kind of gets things kicked off today.
Absolutely
with this.
it does.
And if you're out there watching, these are really good organizations, and they do a lot for our veterans, and we care about our veterans.
Awesome. First of all, what a way to start it off. Get everyone's juices going right. Just get the theme going. But I want to say, on a Sunday, you could have been anywhere else. All you folks could have been somewhere else. Yeah. We appreciate you being here and showing up, because that's what our veterans need. They need
We
us to show
appreciate
up.
everything that you do for our veterans too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Yes. So now I'm going to bring Ron Hernandez back here just so he can finish the rest of his story, and then we're going to bring up one of the families right after that he has had. So, Linda, we're going to get more than 64 memberships here for you guys too. So 64.
Ron Hernandez.
No, 65. There it is. There's 65. Thank you so much. Kathy, thank you so much for being a catalyst for good. Thank you, VFW, Post 2503. Thank you so much. 72 and older. Yes. Awesome. So as soon as Ron gets free here, we'll bring him back, and we'll interview him. So again, if you're just joining us online, we would love for you to just be part of the conversation. If you could share this broadcast on your timeline, we'll be broadcasting until 6 p.m. There is a link in the comment section there that you can connect with to make your donation. We don't care if it's $10. We don't care if it is $100 a month. Whatever that you can do will make a difference for them, especially at a time like a year like this. It goes straight. If you click on the link, it takes you straight to the Omaha Community Foundation. And with that being said, the dollars are being matched today as long as we're following those guidelines that they set for us. And again, if you want to comment, if you want to share, please, on the bottom right there on your screen, all you have to do is click, and they'll be able to see. I'm going to turn down my feedback here. All right, so if you are on Facebook, comment, share, get all the posts out that you can. We'd really appreciate your support today. We will be here until, let me change this here. All right, let me edit this post so that more people can see it.
I'll be right back with you.
Yes, okay, so Ron will be right back. So now you'll be able to comment on the post here. So if you can hear us, please let us know. Thank you so much for joining us today. We just made it public to where you can comment so everyone can see. If you have the ability to stop by today, we're at Soldier Valley Spirits. It's Patriarch Distillers. We are in Vista, and here I'm going to put the address on the bottom so you can see right here. And again, we're going to have Ron Hernandez come up here in a few minutes, And we're also going to have a family that Ron has helped out. You'll all meet Zach. Kathy, you're so awesome. I see you in the background there, love. You're the greatest. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. But as you see, again, Operation 6, the reason why we chose Operation 6 is because it's a term we use in the industry of the military saying, hey, check your 6, which means usually there's a clock orientation. Your front is 12, your left and right, then your rear is your 6. When someone says check your 6, it means you can't see behind you most of the time, and that's why you depend on your brothers and sisters in the military to check your 6. So again, it's a great reminder, Operation 6, to take care of our homeless veterans. And wow, if you just missed it a few minutes ago, two organizations, they just donated 1,000, which turned into 2,000 for moving veterans forward, and 1,000 for guitars for vets. And we're just really excited about getting the word out. If nothing else, this broadcast, we want you to learn a little bit more about Soldier Valley Spirits and Patriarch Distillers. It's a great place to come to La Vista. If you just missed it, Jeff Hadden was on with us, the founder. Such great stories. I think I just want to buy the whole collection and their bourbons tell a story. Kim Davis, can I have one of the bottles? Just the Omaha Beach one. Yeah, can I? Yep. And then when Ron Hernandez gets ready, we'll bring him on, hopefully. And we're running just a little bit behind, but that's okay. We could talk to Ron at the end as well. So check this out. So this is Soldier Valley. This one's D-Day. This is the one on Omaha Beach. And every bottle here has pretty much got a story. This is pretty amazing. It's a commemoration to Omaha Beach, D-Day, June 6, 1944. And wow. Again, Ron Hernandez just joining us again. Ron, how cool was that?
That was really cool.
Oops, there you go.
Okay, hear me now?
Yes, absolutely.
That was awesome. I had no
great.
idea that was coming.
I knew something was coming. I didn't know. Anytime that Kathy says, hey, I have something for you, I'm always saying yes to her.
Oh,
right?
yeah, just hang on, because it could be a crazy ride.
Absolutely. So Ron, I want to get back into the story of, helping, the veterans who are homeless and home insecure. What does that mean? Home insecure. I mean, what does that term mean? People don't know what that means.
Wow, you just kind of hit me there. I'm so blessed. I have a beautiful home. I have a beautiful family. My kids are great.
Yep.
It's just, everybody likes to watch these really good feel movies, especially now on a Hallmark channel.
Yes.
and a country channel.
Yes.
Families are getting together, Christmas and Santa Claus and cookies and feel good stories. We got guys that have literally fought in combat, have watched their brothers and sisters die, and living on the street, literally living on the street.
Right.
And that's not a home.
No. And I think we need to remind everyone what we're doing. It sounds, and everyone says, oh, moving veterans, they move veterans. Okay, well, they really need to, understand we are helping those who have served and signed their name on the dotted line who don't even have a lease or a property or a place to hang their hat.
That's correct.
I mean, that's what hits me the hardest.
Yeah. A lot of people really don't realize, because we live in such an electronic world. I'm a little bit older than I look. I'm going to be approaching 60 here pretty soon.
Darn good for 60, Ron.
But, everything is instantaneous. You push a button, it's in your hand, or it's at your front door.
Right.
You serve, Jay. You know what it's like. When you sign that dotted line to serve our country and to serve our common man, for our country, you actually signed your rights away. You don't have the freedoms as Joe Snuffy living down the street, working at Walmart or driving a semi for Warner Trucking, or
Right.
the police officer that's protecting us. When you're in the military, you don't have the freedoms and the rights as a normal person, but you are laying your life out there for those freedoms for other people. And the common person doesn't know that.
You know, I don't think anyone has ever posed it to me in a conversation like you just did. It's true, because you were put into a structure, into a system that was set up, and it was some of the freedoms taken away or to protect you.
Yep.
You know, or some of the things that, you know, some of the thinking was done for you. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, you were told when to get up, what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, when you're going to go to work, when your work day is done. You know, you work at a business, 9 to 5. 5 o'clock, I go home whether the job's done or not. Military, it ain't that way.
For 10 years, I can truly tell you that I could not even conceive to tell myself what would it be like if I said I didn't want to go to work today.
Yeah.
Sick, right? Even say ibuprofen. That took care of a 1,000-gram ibuprofen.
Yeah.
You were taking care of, or 800 milligram, whatever. But Ron, your operation, back to moving veterans forward. What are some of the things you need most? What do you need most right now?
Right now, believe it or not, is manpower. You know, we were talking about that earlier, and, you know, overhead and how,
Yes.
you know, nonprofits have a board of directors and they have a administrative staff. We have 0 paid employees.
Right, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
nobody's paid.
it is awesome, but I'm saying it's great because when someone does donate to you, it's going to the operation. It is going to run that versus collect dust somewhere and pay a bunch of salaries.
Well, that's, you know, I served. I
Right.
have a retirement.
Right.
I would literally be greedy and selfish if I took money and put it in my pocket. Now, by the law in the IRS, I can take a certain percentage.
Right,
I don't need it.
right.
But what we're, you know, we always need pots and pans and dishes and furniture. We always need that. That's daily operations. But you can't move anything if you don't have the help.
You know, and I think people forget that, Ron, that they say, oh, sorry, I don't have a donation today. Oh, hey, I don't have much money to give. Time can be worth way more and be way invaluable. So how do they get involved, Ron? And I know that can't just show up, right? You can't, hey, we're just going to show up. But you have people to move all the time.
We have people to move all the time. That is correct. But we also have to go pick up those donations, because not everybody can get that couch or that love seat to us.
That's true.
So we have to go pick that up.
That's true.
And this is what's going to blow your mind. They're here. They're sitting over there. They refuse to do any interviews, and I get it.
Oh, your crew.
My crew's here.
Your crew.
My crew of 2 are here. Okay, Jim is a retired pipe fitter.
Wow.
And I'm going to give him a little bit of a plug. It's Continental here in
Yes,
Omaha.
please do.
Jim is going to be 63, I think, and pipe fitter his entire life. I mean, he's got a bad back. He's got bad knees.
My gosh.
And then there's me. Okay, Jim's wife, Kim, she's no spring chicken.
Sure.
She runs the warehouse. She puts everything on the shelves.
Yeah.
She cleans the dishes. Now, Jim's aunt, see a pattern here. I got a hold of this family. She's in her 70s. That's my day operation crew right there. That's it. You know, if I could get 1 or 2 people a week come out, spend a couple hours with me just to help us move, that instead of being out from 8 o'clock in the morning until 5, 6 in the evening, we might be back by 2 or 3.
And that's nonstop.
Nonstop.
And, you know, I think people need to realize that when a veteran gets back into a home or into a place that they can call home or hang their hat, you can't put them in a room of just an empty room.
No, and believe it or not, this is how I found out, and this was the conception of moving veterans forward. I was hospitalized. I was in the VA.
Yeah.
And I found out the system was set up. Let's get this guy a home. Let's do all the paperwork. Let's get his lease signed. Let's take him to his new apartment. Open up the door. Have him walk in. pat him on the head, good luck, walk out. You have just now dropped a veteran that's recovering, trying to get their life put back together with nothing. I mean, totally nothing. That is setting somebody up to fail.
And yes, you know, there's no structure there. You know, it's just like liberty and freedom dropped in someone's lap. It's a responsibility. I mean, responsibility is something you have to practice, right? And if you don't have to practice it, then all of a sudden you're given something, and there's no structure behind it. It's almost poisonous, right? It's almost counterproductive. So talk about your operation, and I want someone to know. I was trying to while you're going to talk, I'm going to share my screen because I'm going to bring up your operation and talk about the foxhole.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going to bring that up here in a second. You're going to see it, but you can keep talking.
Okay.
about it.
Yeah. I mean, everybody likes to know numbers. Now, these are numbers. We're not a regional nonprofit. We're not a national. We're local here in Omaha. As of today, we have moved 1,803 veterans. That's not counting their spouse. That's not counting their kids. That's one move for 2 to 3 people. Just between the middle of last month to now, I'm trying to think of numbers and kind of flying here. I don't have my computer in front of me. We partner with, some people still call it farmland, but now it's called Smithfield.
Yeah.
Up in Denison, the pork plant.
Yep.
Every year for the past 7 years, they donated pork. They donated 4,700 pounds of pork. We're talking bacon, pork tenderloins, ribs. We have delivered over 150 boxes on top of our moves that we've moved and on top of the donations that we've picked up. So, I mean, we're constantly on the run. And I am so blessed that I've got this core of 3 people that come in every day and work.
We need more people.
We need more people.
We need more people. We can't rely on 3 people to do all that heavy lifting and all of that organizing and all those things. And this is, I'm just showing people right now. So if you're looking at your screen, you can see pictures of what the warehouse looks like. Just to give you an idea, this is where the sorting area is. Is that correct? Or
Yeah, these pictures that you're seeing right here, there's a lot of people in the picture. What's happening is Home Depot, they're in Papillion. Cody, Marine, retired, is the manager there. Great partner. They donated all that lumber.
to make mezzanine so that you can expand your space.
That's right. Vertical space is free.
Right.
So we can maximize our room for our donations. And then the Carpenters Union right down the street off of Porter Road, there in Papillion,
Yep.
they brought their students out and real world experience. We found out the building is 1.5 inches off a plumb, but it was great for these kids learning how to get into the carpentry trades. They built that mezzanine
Wow.
in 1 week.
In the military, we're good for mezzanine. We can warehouses are full of mezzanine. That's how I learned the word. Oh, hey, there's your Corvette, right? Is that the? And so, I think I'm trying to get to a picture here where it shows the foxhole, and it was in its infancy stages. Oh, here's some. Is this a family that you helped?
This is a family that we moved. I want to say that was probably 2, maybe 3 years ago that
Yep,
we moved.
2019. Yep.
On Christmas. That's a friend of mine. That's his car. Jonathan Brown, retired. He passed away.
Sure.
Lost a fight with cancer, but yeah.
So when veterans get homeless, or they become homeless, and some families fall apart, right? They lose custody of their family sometime, or access to their family.
Yes. Yep.
And so you've designed a foxhole. I'm trying to look. It's like a day room. If you're military, you know this. We in our dorms we had day rooms, right?
Day room. Yeah.
Yep. And so will you tell them what that operation entails?
Well, yeah, the foxhole is basically for those people out there in a day room, or it's a rec room. We have a full-size pool table. We have a dart machine in there. We have a big screen TV. It's just a place for the veterans to come down, hang out, spend the day, catch a ball game, shoot some pool, and just do some rec therapy. And this is a video from a couple years ago where I presented a
Quilt of Valor.
quilt,
Yep,
to, a,
quilt.
to a veteran.
Yes.
And
I remember hearing this because you said, "Hey, show your best side." No, not that side.
Yeah.
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 But who are these two? Are they
okay,
just
these are. I'm trying to remember his name. They do live in Lincoln. They're doing great.
Yep,
We
yep.
moved them probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
They were both struggling, and they're still together. They're living in Victory Apartments down in Lincoln.
Okay.
Lincoln has Victory Apartments as well.
Okay.
It's not as big as a complex here in Omaha, but I just got a quick hey, happy Thanksgiving from them just a couple weeks ago. But they're
pretty
still
cool.
doing good.
That's great. I mean, sometimes, people need to hand up.
Yep.
They just need to step up. And you also take non-perishable items. And we need not just food, but I'm talking about deodorant, toothbrushes, shaving cream, things that
All
we
that.
would, that would, what are they called? Hygiene items, all that stuff, right?
And we also take cleaning supplies, unfortunately, but it's the nature of the beast. These guys they've been living on the streets, or they've
Yeah.
been surfing on somebody's couch, or who
Yes.
knows where they've been. They don't have the privilege or the luxury like we do to jump in a car and run down to Walmart
Right.
or
Not-
to Costco.
Right.
Or to Sam's. So the day we move our veteran, we try to give them enough non-perishable food, and with Smithfield coming on board with the pork, we try to give them enough food for 1 month. On top of that, with their hygiene and cleaning supplies and laundry detergent, because it's a big transition and it's a big emotional day for them, because they're coming from a place where they're getting 3 meals a day, they have a warm cot, they've got a buddy system, now they're going into an apartment by themselves, so now they're all alone again.
Yeah.
Anxiety sometimes ramps up with our veterans, so we try to get them established to where they feel safe. If they don't want to have to leave their apartment for a few days, they can stay there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty big deal.
That's a real big deal.
Especially when you're talking about just a safe place for people to meet and, families to reunite in the foxhole, if you would, or the day room. I know we have one of the families here.
Yes.
His
Zach.
name is Zach, right? I don't want to use Zach's last name. We'll just use Zach,
Okay.
if that's okay. And will someone call Zach over here if I could just, unless you want to say a few words about Zach before I interview him?
Zach is a great guy. Hang on.
Yeah.
Great kid.
Yeah.
Got a huge family. Very loving family, which is great to see that the family core is strong with them.
Yes.
With the struggles they've gone through, they're still together with all these little ones.
Yes.
And we're talking little ones.
Yeah, I saw he was holding a baby.
I think it's 3 months old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but also getting back to the foxhole real quick, not only do we do a lot of rec therapy there, we also do foster care visits. We're trying to get our families put back together. Right now we have 8 families
Yeah.
where they come down and these veterans are getting to see their kids. So, but yeah,
Let's see.
I know where Zach's at.
Oh, you do? Okay,
I'll go
yeah.
get
I'm
him.
ready for Zach. That's perfect. Thank you, Ron. So if you're just joining us now, what's happening is we are having a live telethon online fundraiser for moving veterans forward, and we are here at Patriarch Distillers and Soldier Valley Spirits. It's an amazing place here in La Vista. If you want to know where it is, just check on the click on the link there. Zach, have a seat right over here. Zach, we've just introduced the founder of Patriarch Distillery, Jeff Hadden. Then we had a special surprise for Ron Hernandez, and we got to speak with Ron. And now we are going to tell the story of Zach. Zach, we'll just keep it at your first name for now to be easy that way. And Zach, if you will you tell us? Thank you for your service to our country. When and where did you serve?
So I got deployed 3 times. My first tour, I got sent to Baghdad. My second tour and my third tour, I've been to fun and exciting locations. That
Awesome. Yep.
I'll
Obviously.
discuss.
Yeah. Sure. So Zach, you transitioned out of the military at what year?
2019.
2019. Wow. So real fresh still.
Oh yeah.
So I want to tell you what the first 2-3 years were like for me. I really didn't know that I was a veteran. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't know I was a
Absolutely,
veteran.
yeah.
I didn't even pay attention to what being a veteran was. So 2019, you got out, go ahead, paint the rest of the story.
Okay, so basically I came home from my third tour and I found out, thank you, sir.
Yep.
I found out in short order that the Army really wasn't interested in renewing my contract because they already knew how the VA conversation was going to go. And so ended up being declared 100% from some injuries and
Sure.
that kind of thing.
Disability, 100%. Yep.
And within short order, I also got served divorce paperwork.
Sure. Yeah.
So I lived, I became the stereotypical vet, and as I started to heal, and I'm dealing with that divorce process,
Sure.
things started blowing up sideways, and then the company I was working for, when I started taking time off to heal,
Yeah.
they actually ended up firing me for taking time off for my service-connected injuries.
That's, and I think the world needs to be aware that just because you can't see physical scars, that battle wounds don't exist. Battle wounds exist in all shapes and sizes. So let me ask you, things were, faltering, right? Things were degrading.
Yep.
Did you at any time in your mind say, I think I should ask someone for help?
Only when it got to the point where I was considering options that weren't legal.
So you were basically reluctant to ask until you had to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's you don't ask for help because you're the person that everybody else depends on.
Right.
So,
Right. And you're dependent upon, and you're supposed to be independent and operative and all that other stuff. So talk about being stubborn. So someone's listening right now, right? And they're saying, man, Zach, I'm struggling too. Maybe they're in the beginning of struggling. What's your advice to them, Zach, right now?
Oh man, the first thing is that the most important rule is you have to live to fight another day.
That's right.
And so unless you have the resources you need, you best be talking to somebody. And all I did was I just walked into the VA and I said, help. And
Take me back to that day.
We'd been homeless for a while, and
Yep.
we talked with Nebraska VA, and we're moving into the area and trying to get custody of the kids, and we succeeded. Very grateful to get the joint custody.
Yes.
And then use the veterans home loan to try and buy that home, so you have that stability.
Yeah.
But in addition to all the physical injuries that I still handle, I also got blown up. So when I go into the VA, I trust them to do a lot of my thinking for me at
Yeah.
times.
Sure.
And that's where I was. I was hurting. I was miserable. I couldn't think clearly, couldn't think straight. And so, they turned me to Veterans Moving Forward. They, started putting me into the case managers and a lot of those guys. So
Do you think,
scary.
yeah, and again, maybe someone like you was very determined to try to maybe make a better life for yourself. But again, there are many people who just settle and allow themselves to degrade. Do you think that the system was easy to find help, or do you think there were challenges, or what was that like?
So when I was dealing with organizations outside of the veterans community, that was where it really got exciting. At one point in time, we were working with an organization that was trying to help us find, just a place to rent while we were waiting for the home buy.
Right.
And we got turned away, and it was kind of exciting because you can see my wife back over here.
Absolutely. Hello.
Hey, Kay.
Hey.
We walked into a place that we were getting ready to rent, and then after she left the room, all of a sudden everybody got real tense. And when we came back in, all of a sudden we got told, sorry, we can't rent to you. Now I'm sure they had whatever legal reasons that they could
Sure.
justify in court, but
Sure.
I was like, so can you send us anywhere? Like you told us to get the truck, you got the U-Haul out here, so we ended up having some friends take us in and pay for the U-Haul bill and all that. But
Wow.
It was one of those things in 21st century America we really shouldn't see occur.
Yeah. No, I hear you. No, I hear you. And sometimes, that even the system is broken. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So how did you meet Ron Hernandez?
Okay, so basically over at the VA, they gave me this list of things, and they said, we see that you have no furniture, so here's the address, here's the location. They put us in touch with Kim, and then We went over there, and you walk into this huge warehouse. He's got all this furniture in
Yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty amazing. We were showing photos of it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! And I will tell you, I saw the turnover rate because a couple weeks after we went to go
Yeah.
pick out the
It
furniture.
was all different.
Oh man, I would say 60% of the volume in that warehouse had changed over in like 2 weeks or less. It was
Yeah.
insane.
Oh, yeah.
I could come, and then he's telling me, how many more vets they've helped since I was down there. I mean, really, the only people taking care of vets right now are the VA and you guys.
Sure.
So it's amazing. It blows me away that there's so many of us that need furniture because of the family courts and sometimes how those things
Yes.
go.
So Ron and I were just talking about that. Okay, great. Veterans back on their feet, and they got milk crates. That doesn't work.
No, I
That
was
doesn't
using
work.
air mattresses for my kids for a couple of weeks in there.
And they frown on that stuff.
Typically DHHS does not like it when your kids are camping in the house, but in the legal struggles that I had, it was pretty much uncontested, and I wasn't really allowed to contest it much when the ex just decided to take all the furniture in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I had a couple of things left over, but I was just prepared to do whatever I had to do. And then I talked to the guys over at the VA. They hooked us up with Kim and Ron and Jim. And I will be honest. After Jim unloaded everything over there, I was just shaking hands, telling the guys thank you. And
Yeah.
I made it fast. I had to run back in the house because I know, I just met these guys. They're not going to see me cry. But
Right. Yeah.
just the relief that, hey, my kids have beds to sleep in, or they got, they hooked them up with some winter coats.
Right.
The disability that I receive, the compensation.
Yeah.
As long as I don't go anywhere or do anything,
It's barely
halfway
enough.
decent.
It's barely enough.
And that was before the COVID pandemic just jacked pricing.
Yes. Yep.
So, now I'm doing all those fun things of, all right, within the confines of my injuries, how do I go back to work, because I hurt, but
Yes.
I'm not dead.
Sure. Sure.
I'll help people out. I like helping people out. That's what I did in the Army.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you think reflect back to 2019, how much better do you feel now than you did before?
Oh man, feeling good feels good. I threw away the largest belt I ever had to buy, thanks to my wife, my new wife here. I lost 4 inches off my waistline.
Awesome. So you've been taking care of yourself.
Oddly enough, for the first time in my life, I have somebody in my corner who's, the last person I've ever taken care of for the last 12 years is me.
Yeah.
And now I'm actually allowed to be a priority. And oddly enough, because I'm feeling better, I can perform better.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so, it is so wild. I'm not used to having somebody in the house with me who will, let me take a nap if I need to take a nap
Right.
because I'm sore, or,
Right.
help do some of the heavier chores. And she gives much better than she gets sometimes.
Sure.
But
Sure.
my goal is just to heal up to the point where I can make it worth her while, because she deserves all the best things in life.
Absolutely. So, what stage are you now? So they've helped you. They brought furniture. What other involvements do you have with them? Are you still, staying in touch, or
we're-
how's that going?
So basically at this point is we will still pop around periodically to hit the food bank.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, it's a great food bank.
Yeah.
The quality of food is unbelievable.
Awesome.
I mean-
awesome. You mean from Ron's?
Oh,
or-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, from Moving Veterans Forward. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their pantry. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
it's a good pantry. I mean,
Yeah.
when you've got Famous Dave's sauce.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. For sure.
Famous Dave's.
Yeah.
Oh.
And these are some of the things we take for granted, right? I mean, we are sitting here talking to Zach, and Zach has served in our military. For those of you who just joined us, and Zach experienced some challenges, as most soldiers do, disabilities, debilitating injuries, scars that you can see and scars that you can't. So, and that's the context that we're speaking in right now. So Zach, take me back again to, things like that other people take for granted. I mean, sometimes our pride gets in the way.
Right.
Here we should not let it, though. We should not let it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so a lot of my struggles occurred more within the social context, because one of the things that you see happen a lot anymore is you see what I call professional victims.
Yeah.
And so, these are people that, for whatever reason, they're gonna make their money off of you. And so,
Right.
a lot of times those people will find members of the military, and they will, they'll take advantage because, oh, I'm a poor damsel in distress. And a lot of times it's hard to get those people to move along. And so that was one of the things that really brought us down, was because even though I was, I'm trying to heal up from physical injuries. I got blown up in Baghdad. I go to the VA for head, shoulders, knees, and back, like
Yep,
we all do.
yep.
So I'm dealing with all that. Then I've got other people who are actually in better physical and mental health than me that are like, oh, please help me. I can't pay my bills, or, all that kind of silliness. And
Sure.
So those vampires that bring you down. And so I've had to deal with quite a few of those people. And then on top of it all, the thing that's interesting is anytime I've had to be dealing with a court system or court issue for whatever reason, a lot of the things that I think most of us who are responsible would want to talk about in those courts, a lot of times it's inadmissible. The only thing that they care about is, did you finally lose your cool and do something stupid? But what
Yeah.
they don't look at is they don't look at all the nasty, all the manipulations, all the gaslighting, all the, the lies upon lies.
Yeah.
I've had people go around and claim all kinds of things, some true, most of it not, and some of it's actually kind of insane, honestly.
Wow.
Some things that people have claimed about me, and I'm an easy target because my memory's garbage. I was blown up, and then I was trying to cover it up from the Army so I could keep serving. So I'm using substances to cope and to medicate,
Sure.
to function.
Yeah.
So my memory really only begins, about a couple months ago.
Wow.
At as earliest as what I can remember accurately. Anything outside of that rolling, kind of 2-month window,
Yeah.
it's gone. I have to rely on everybody else.
To piece it back together for you.
Oh
huh?
yeah, and I was dealing with insanity, so I was nasty, I was mean.
Really?
I was carrying a lot of dead weight. Some people that
Yeah.
were just leeching off of me, but I'm
Sure.
a good guy. But if you don't help them, then they're gonna go tell people all kinds of things about you. I had people trying to blackmail me, all that
Yeah.
insanity.
Yeah.
And so when I finally got out, and I finally started seeking help, after I almost, lost it all.
Yeah.
We could spend the next hour of just people that I would have to say thank you to for everything that they've done for me. People that convinced me that orange isn't a good color for me to wear.
Right. That's good.
Yeah,
It is not a good color.
No, I don't look good in it. And so one of the things that's also hard is that when you come home, first of all, the culture shock just of what's going on here at home versus what it was downrange, but also, I don't like to watch the news because that's not what I went overseas.
Right.
That's not what I went to go, defend and take care of. And I don't really see the world so much as right or wrong, but maybe just more through a lens of who's suffering and who's not.
Yeah.
Because 99% of the time, I think of the meanest, nastiest guys that I ever put the cuffs on, who probably had it coming. I'd say less than 1% of the guys I ever put the cuffs on was, that Hannibal Lecter.
Yes,
or that,
right.
Most of them were just good guys who got pushed too far or desperate situations. I fell into that category a few times myself. And so I'm one of those guys. Unfortunately, I also have a judge or two that I have to be grateful to.
Yes, of course, man, because they've probably forgiven you.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They went, this idiot's salvageable, but fix him.
Yeah. Well, here's what we're going to do. I have a lot of guests that we have to line up, but I do want to bring you back again, towards the end. But Zach, first of all, thank you for your service to our country. Number two is it's not easy to give your whole story in like a 16-minute window, right? And then on top of that is to be vulnerable and really transparent. So I appreciate that. I know that there are many people here to support you and many people here to support your family, but we should, because you've served our country. You have written a check that most people can't even imagine signing, right? And I mean that from not just the hard work or possible, giving up your entire life of sacrifice, but you entered a regiment where you lost some of your basic, freedoms, to operate into a system to serve this country. So I appreciate that. With that being said, I'd like to bring you and your wife on next time here in about an hour. I'm going to interview the rest of the folks. Zach, I'm better for having met you. I know how intense your story is. We didn't even scrape the surface, which is for yourself anyhow. You know what I mean?
I'm grateful for that because even telling the Disney version of my story, I'm like, oh man, just cover the bullet list.
Yes.
I'm just living proof that Murphy's a little punk, and as long as you don't quit and you keep trying to find the right people, man, he's going to give up sooner or later.
Murphy is a punk, yeah. Murphy's Law doesn't always work. Well, good for you. Thank you very much, Zach.
Thank you, sir.
I'll be calling you back up here, you and your wife up here in a little bit. So coming up next, I'm going to bring Nikki. Nikki is here. Hopefully I can find her. Nikki. Oh, there she is. Oh, you don't have to run, Nikki. Take your time. Take your time. Hi, Nikki. How are you? Have a seat. There you go. Does that fit good?
Oh my gosh,
Right?
I like it.
Do you? This
Yeah.
is this. Okay, so you are live.
Okay.
You are on the air. We've been live since 3:00. So many good people. The reason why I'm having Nikki on here is I've known Nikki for over 13, 14 years-ish. So, and her husband operate a business called Royalty Roofing and Renovations. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And Nikki has, every time that she's seen me doing something with veterans, has always just extended to say, we want to help. We want to get involved. And so, Nikki, take us back a couple years when you first saw, when we were going to do that 50-mile march. Like, why were you so compelled to jump on?
So there was a couple mornings that you were live on Facebook, and you guys were walking, and it was dark out. The sun hadn't come up yet, and you had weight on your back. And I'm like, what is he doing? He's
crazy.
He's a lunatic.
Right?
Okay, log off.
Yes.
Next day, same thing. So we watched you for a few days, and I told my husband, I'm like, do you feel his passion coming through this Facebook Live feed for these two organizations?
Yes.
So I made him watch, and we were watching for a few more days, and it just, something sparked in me. I felt coming through the screen how passionate you were about the Veterans Moving Forward and Guitars for Vets, and I thought, what a great way to get involved, to serve the people that have served the country.
Yes.
And my husband's a really big patriot.
Yes.
So, and our whole family is too.
Yeah.
So I just thought, what a great way to give back to those that are in need. And that's why we decided to give.
Your company does that on a yearly basis, on a regular basis anyway,
Correct.
right? Just year round. I mean, just since, how long has Royalty Roofing and Renovations been in business?
Well, the vision started back in, my husband started roofing at 16 years old, but it did not, that was his first job. But he worked for a couple different roofing companies and then decided to start his own. I kind of pushed him off a cliff in 2009, and
Yes.
I unapologetically pushed him off a cliff.
Sure.
And
I'm
said,
going to
"It is
share
time."
this. So while you're talking, I'm going to share the screen.
Yes.
And I'm going to bring everyone to your Facebook page so that they can see. There it is.
There
Best of Omaha.
Yes.
2 years.
3 years. We
Oh.
won it this year too.
Oh,
it's
well,
just
boom.
not. It's not updated yet.
Okay, well, let
Yes.
somebody get on that.
I
Well,
know.
Seriously, are you not busy
Who are we
enough?
paying for this?
Exactly. Who are we paying for this? No, so I mean, it's a family-run business. It's
is.
very boutique, right? What sets you apart from all the other? There's home improvement space, right? There's
Right.
roofing companies. Tell us how big your operation is, and what your niche is, and what your philosophy might be.
The three things we pride ourselves on is service, serving, integrity, and reliability.
Yeah.
With construction, you never know what you're going to get sometimes. And our city is flooded with roofing companies, exterior remodel companies, which a lot of them are great. But
not all of them.
with our passion that with serving people, you care about every project, whether it's big or small,
Yes.
whether it be a storm or something very small that just comes from wear and tear on your property.
Yeah, you want to
So-
know what's crazy, and I won't say who it is, but you guys came out today. Did you know that you guys came out to my house?
No.
Okay, today.
Okay.
Literally 2.5 hours ago, maybe 4 hours ago, and I'll just say it. It's Nick. Nick did it.
Okay.
So Nick coordinated with Becky. You know what? So 2 companies already told us. One really oh, this is going to be a big $20,000 job, gave us a whole rigmarole estimate. Another guy said, oh, this is really going to fall apart and crack. Nick said, just repaint it and just do this. You don't need to replace this. Do you know how everybody in that space has to make money, right? They have to,
Yeah.
right? Nick was just like, hey, you don't need to do this. We can do this if you want. But on a Sunday, today is Sunday, that's what the integrity portion of your business is, right? But most, if not all, who have come by already wanted us to write a check. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm telling our listeners right now why you have been so successful, why you have jumped in where where we asked you to jump in. But talk to me about this last year, how you guys really got even more involved with the 50 Mile March. I'll say it. I mean, you guys donated $2,500 plus your time, plus all the craziness that I probably put you through. What made you want to continue, or what brought you to that second year of the 50 Mile March?
Well, the same kind of for the first year was paying attention to the veterans that have served. And right now in our country, unity needs to happen.
Oh my gosh, we're
Unity
so divided.
needs to happen. Serving needs to happen. Someone else before yourself. It's your neighbor before,
Yes.
It's service before self.
Yes.
And there's a lot of going back to the pillars of our company and understanding how important it is to serve those around you. It's not just us that we need to take care of. It goes so far beyond that. And I think with veterans, people have just put them on the back burner.
Yeah.
Because, they've got PTSD now. Oh, they're struggling with, I don't
Yes.
want to touch that.
Right.
I don't want to go near that.
Right.
But
People are afraid of it.
there's so many organizations like these 2 organizations that you're supporting that bring things to light and help them. I mean, they have baskets back here that
know.
are just home stuff.
Yeah.
Toilet paper, garbage bags, laundry basket. I think people get so wrapped up in their own lives that they forget that there's so many around them that could need those things that are just so basic to us. And we need to open our eyes and pay attention to it.
And I've seen you guys grow in success, over the last few years. You personally as well, just developing, yourself developing your companies. What reminds you, or what's your general philosophy? I mean, yes, you say help your neighbor. Where does that come from? Was there times in your life maybe where things were hard or challenged, or what reminds you to keep living this life?
I think that when your foundation is faith and the core of who you are is giving. Because when you think back, and I think because of my childhood, I went without my entire childhood. So there's a connection with me with people that are experiencing that, whether they're young, old, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because we have been there where we've been in a place of need or want, or we can't, it's hard for food. It's hard to, heat the house. It's
Yes.
hard. I was raised in a household with a single mom with 5 kids. So you
Wow.
can imagine struggling through that entire childhood.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I think that it has caused me to pay attention to people that are in need.
I can tell that you have a genuine heart to give back. What do you say to these people who find it hard for them to ask for help? What do you say to someone who says, Nikki, I don't even know where to start, or I'm too proud? Like, what do you say to people like that?
That every single person in their lifetime is going to need someone, whether it's when they're in their young years or in their older years, like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, and I understand that pride can play an issue, or it can play a role in not wanting to ask. And ego can play a part in that
Big
as
time.
well.
Big time.
But there's going to be somebody there that wants to help, and it's not going to make you feel less than because you need it at that moment. We've all been there. All of us have been there. And I don't know, it almost gives more to the person giving, than it is the person receiving.
Yes.
So if your heart can shift from, I need to receive, if you're in that time of need, take it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like God has placed those people around you
Yes.
for a reason.
I know.
And no matter who that person is, like, whatever phase of life you're walking in, that person was placed there for a reason.
So eloquently said, because sometimes we don't say, oh, well, the giver is getting a gift as well. Not that they know that, or not that that's what they're intending, but there is a soldier right now, or a veteran, or someone who's got out maybe recently or years ago, and they're listening right now. What do you want to tell that person when it comes to telling them, maybe they're in a pinch, they're in a bad place? Maybe they know somebody who's in a bad place. First of all, what do you say to the person in a bad place? Who needs the help?
It's only a season. Like, it's not going to last forever. This place that you're in, it's not, even if there is struggles that you're dealing with mentally, if there is, you feel like you're alone, you're definitely not alone. There are organizations out there are people out there that are waiting to help you. So you do not have to feel like you're alone, and that you have no other answer outside of just stay by myself in this dark space in my mind.
Yeah, and that's what happens. They crawl into their head and they sit there, and it's really easy to. Taylor, are you going to play the guitar for us? Are you? You should. You better not pull that out for nothing. No, but it is right though, Nikki, that people. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay. But what about now? What about the people who are in a position to be able to help, right? Because we all have friends. Maybe it's not us directly that needs the help right now. And we have friends who are in positions to help. What would you say to the organizations who are in the positions to help and how they can get involved? Not with just this, but just giving back. Mm-hmm. What would you say to them? We're not chastising people, but what would you say to encourage them to say, hey, you've made it. Like, there's a whole community here that has spent money with you. Mm-hmm. What would you say to them?
I would say to shift the focus.
Yeah.
Instead
I really
of
like that
me,
shift
myself,
focus.
and I.
Yeah.
To what can I do to help the people around me, whether that be organizations or individual people. I mean, I think once people shift the mindset of, if I give it, I don't have it anymore.
Right.
If you give it, you're sowing a seed that could plant something miraculous in somebody else. It may be so trivial and minor to you,
Right.
but you could be planting a seed in somebody else that makes it through another year, that gives them the hope that they need in that moment. Mm-hmm. So I think that if you take the focus off of yourself and you pay attention to things around you, I feel like that's what my advice would be, because I think sometimes people have the mindset of, I make it, I need to hoard it, it's mine, but it goes so much further when you give it.
And it does. And I think people don't realize that. It makes me feel great. So when I'm having a bad day and I have to remind myself, what impact can I make now? Who can I serve? It's not what can I give, right? It's like, who can I serve today? And that usually makes me feel better, because all these first world problems that people have, right? They're nothing compared to where's my next meal?
And I think with those that want to give monetary as opposed to walking, like
Yes.
for me, I have 4 kids, and we
Yes.
have we have morning wrestling, we have
Yes,
afternoon
yes.
basketball, we have elite cheer, we have basketball for the other one, you know, so there might not be the time that you can give to it, but you might have that extra there that you just want to give that to, as
Yeah.
opposed to walking for them if you don't feel like, my body's not in the greatest shape.
Sure,
There's
sure.
a way you can give something else. You can give meals.
Right.
Or, something
Yes.
that you enjoy to do. Maybe it's cooking.
Yes.
Maybe it's cleaning.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just going to their house and saying, oh, I'm going to drop off trash bags, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, I
Something.
mean, sometimes it's not monetary. Sometimes it's just you doing an act of service.
Totally. And here's what's crazy is, and for those of you who are just joining us, this is Nikki. She is with Royalty Roofing and Renovations. I just told Nikki about this event last Thursday.
You sure did.
Just like, what is this even? But what's funny is you're willing to jump in. And I've just been so impressed with your company, but you as a person, because I've known you personally, you're just always willing to help. You know what I mean? And I bet it's hard for you to ask for help, though, is it?
It is.
It's so crazy. Why do we do this?
I think there's that pride
Yes.
side of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to, I feel like there's that side of it. But yeah, I do struggle with that as well. So I can relate to people that don't want to ask.
Right. And right now I'm going to ask. So if you're online and you want to donate, there's a link right in the comments. You can donate $5. You can donate $1,000. You can donate whatever it is. It will be matched by the Omaha Community Foundation. All the rules and regulations are there that state the match. But that's what we're doing here until 6 p.m. My goodness, it's only 4:30. I thought it was like 5:50 already. So, Nikki, let's talk about veterans. Are in anywhere in your family, is there a history or friends and that you're connected with?
Just my grandpa.
Okay,
From what
yes.
I was told, he died when he was 67 from emphysema. So I was very young
Yes.
when he passed away. But the stories that my mom has and the stories that his brothers had were pretty incredible. And honestly, I didn't even think about it, Jay, till we started supporting this and sharing stuff
Yes.
and talking about it. My mom was like, did you know your grandpa was a veteran? I was like, no.
That makes people pipe
Yes.
up, right? With pride.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. So what? Any good stories maybe that you could share? Or things that you may remember?
I wish
like-
I had. I
but
wish I had something.
Do they have pictures of him at
They
least?
do.
Oh, that's cool.
They
You know,
do.
you should really. Those are relics that you should get printed again. You know, like the pictures, and those things should have a special place in your house. And the reason I'm telling you this is, I hope that my picture, my military photos, end up with my kids. It's just a thing for me, you know. I want someone to say, "Did you know that your great grandpa Jay used to be in the military?" I'm proud of that, right? And I'm proud of, you know, knowing that you belong to a very small group of people. But no, just like you said, when you're not paying attention to it, but now that you're supporting people, you're paying attention to your grandpa. Doesn't that? I saw you light up too.
Yes.
You know, when you talk about it.
Well, and my mind goes back to the picture of you sleeping on the steps.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and I just think about, like, here he is, like, such a giver, such a person that's just like, let me help, let me do this, optimistic, insanely, whatever it says.
Blindly.
Blind. Okay. So
Yes.
For how optimistic you are, you came out of it really good, just good. And here there's other people that did not, you know,
Right.
and you are like, hey, the reality is I'm good. I'm fine.
Right.
I have a great life.
Right.
I have a great wife and
Yes,
kids,
yes,
all that.
yes.
But there's people that didn't get that opportunity when they got out of it.
That makes my heart hurt for sure, because I do see brothers and sisters of mine who don't have an address or a mailbox.
Right.
Isn't that crazy? Hey, where should I send this? Oh, I don't know. Think about that, right? Toothpaste, toothbrush, an extra jacket, right? Do you have jackets in your house that you don't wear anymore? I do.
Absolutely.
My God. And they don't have one. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just really special to me when I surround myself with people like you who help highlight the mission of what we're actually trying to do. We are trying to make sure that we help. I don't even know who these people are sharing with us or talking. Maybe it's in a different country, which is awesome. But I ask you, Nikki, a lot because I know you will. Do you know what I mean? I ask people like you, and I want you to know I will never call on you just to call on you. But every time I do, I'm greeted with yes. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate that. And I think that when people go to spend their money, and I'm not trying to give a shameless plug, but don't you want to work with a company that really has a strong philosophy of giving back to the community? I would rather spend my money there. Do you know what I mean? Versus someone who touts that they're number one in this and number 7, you know, and they're the largest grossing roofing company in Nebraska. Who cares? What I care is, can I speak to the people who do the work? Can I speak to the people involved? Do I know what they're about? So I would say, really, folks, if you wanted to, please give Royalty Roofing and Renovations a call, or just get to know them better and just follow me through their journey. Nick, is there anything else that you'd like to share? I mean, with, you know, this organization, us, you know, raising, you know, awareness for veterans, or any organization that helps veterans. Anything there? Anything patriotic within your soul?
Open Door Mission is really big to us.
Yes.
And I know that they support veterans, and I know that they have fed them.
Yes.
And I know that they clothe them.
Yes.
And that's a really close organization to our
Okay.
company.
Yes.
And to our kids. Like, their Christmas morning a few years back, my husband woke up and he's like, everybody get up. Get all the blankets off your bed. I want every hoodie you don't wear. I said, what is going on? Like, everybody, half the kids were still in bed. He was like, they just said on the radio, they're short. They have no blankets. They have no hoodies. They have no gloves. They have no hats.
man.
He said, get in the car and get everything we have in the car. I said, what do you want me to do about all the beds in our house that will no longer have blankets? He said, I don't care. Get it all and get it in the truck right now. And so on Christmas Day, we drove down to Open Door Mission, and we got a call a few weeks later from someone driving downtown. It was a homeless man, and I don't know if he was a veteran, but he had a Royalty Roofing hoodie on because my husband took a box
Yes.
that wasn't even used yet. We had all this merchandise, and he
That's
took it down
cool.
there, and like, there's a guy walking downtown.
That's so cool,
fine.
right?
It's fine.
Yeah.
So there's just moments like that where nothing else matters except for putting clothes on somebody else's back and putting blankets in somebody else's bed. And I think when you start paying attention to it, like my kids grab taking care of a kid at school, there's some table that you can, you know, they'll bring it home like, hey, this kid needs this kid needs this. And it kind of goes
they
generations.
have they have stuff at school.
Yeah, to
like
help
almost,
out.
Yes, I did not know that.
Not a
Not a
giving
not
tree,
giving
but
tree,
you know
no,
what I'm
but
saying?
just
But it's
something
like that-
necessary.
Yes. So
Wow.
it kind of passes on to generations. Once you start paying attention to it, getting your kids involved, paying attention to it, whatever it is. So I say Open Door Mission, but there's a lot of them around Omaha that do that.
You just gave me a huge idea. Okay, so not a giving tree, but I do have an idea that I'm going to
Okay.
steal from you now. And guess what? I'm just going to tell you what it is right now.
Okay, tell me.
There are organizations that need our help, right? You know, and they need things, special things. I'm just going to post it on my social media banner, and I'm going to put what the need is. And then when somebody fills it, I'm just going to replace it with their name. So it might be like 8 things, right? Like shaving cream, toothpaste, right? We're talking like a lot of toothpaste, maybe like X. And I'm just going to put it there. And I wonder if people say, you know what, Jay, that thing on your banner, I'll do that. I want to do that. That's going to be, you just gave me that idea.
Well, I mean, and there's other things too. I think because there's kids that are in need too. It's not just adults.
Yes, true.
You know, families of veterans
Yes.
or kids of veterans, and you know, they need help with their parents, or they just need help because they didn't have access to that. You know,
Yeah.
I think people just forget how much they sacrificed.
Yeah, that's
and how
true.
unselfishly they served. So when you think about other people and how unselfish they are, I think it becomes easier for us to just, somebody needs something, okay, let's fulfill the need. And it passes on. So our kids pay attention to it, like, Mom, there's a kid that needs this. Can we go get it for him? You know,
Oh,
so
that's pretty cool because they become aware than
they
themselves.
They do.
You know what's funny is I picture, you know, sometimes, you know, when people give, they just imagine a box in front of you and people turn their head away. Do you know what I'm saying? They here you go. They almost don't want to look at who they're giving.
Yeah.
I think they need to. I think they need to connect. It doesn't need to be like, oh, well, here's a box of canned goods. Don't look. Like, you need to look at them and embrace, you know, and engage the moment. And I'm not saying like stare them down. I'm saying connect with them. Too often we're so quick to just write a check, drop off something, you know. And I've been, you know, food drives and diaper drives and toiletry drives and clothing drives, all those things, right? They're all drives, right? But sometimes we just drive and we drive by. And maybe the box, remember that T-shirt that you're talking about with the royalty roofing? I mean, while it's funny, maybe there's some pride in what, he got a new shirt. Do you know what I'm saying?
Brand new.
And you weren't using it, and it was just collecting dust in your house. Oh my gosh.
It would have been used, but my husband decided he had other uses for it.
I have an idea. You guys have a lot of trucks.
We do.
I'm not going to put you on the spot now, but I have an idea for next year. Something.
You gonna give me more of a 2-week notice, or
Yes.
I'm gonna get a little bit more time to prepare?
You know me. Why prepare? There's no reason.
Throwing stuff out there.
No, but and that's what we do, right? We throw stuff out at the world, and I'm just really grateful that you took the time, especially on short notice. This doesn't go unnoticed, and you know, I know you got some important events coming up soon, you know, that you've got to take care of, and things that you have to prepare for, and you took time out of your day. Or who's watching all the kids now?
Nick's in charge.
awesome.
One's at basketball. I'm gonna be headed to a study group after this, so our study
good,
session.
Good
after
for you.
this.
Okay, good. Don't study too hard. But you know, you're always one of the people that we will for sure count on, and it's not always for a thing. It's not always for something to give, but I will always spread the name of your company, and you and Nick are just great people. I mean that. I truly mean this. We don't talk much outside of events. I know sometimes we do every now and then, but like when we actually, you and I get to sit down and talk, like these are the words we exchange, and I'm grateful for that.
Me too.
I really am. I really am. Gosh, it's so refreshing to have people who you have in your corner that you just need, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're here. You know, I saw you walk in earlier. You were here way before 4. That was your time, and we're running behind
That's
already.
okay.
But I'm just grateful, and I will make sure to include the link so people can learn more about your company. But thank you for your generosity,
Of course.
for your service, you know, to the community, and especially thank you for your friendship. I really appreciate that, Nikki. You're just the
Thank you,
best.
Jay.
I would give you a whole hug, but I'm sure I'm gonna knock this all over. But no, thank you for everything, and wish Nick my best. And I'm sure we're all gonna see each other soon. I just love his honesty. That really came through today, and I'm glad I remembered this, because if you're looking for an honest company who doesn't need your dollar, who wants to serve you, who wants to help your family, Royalty Roofing and Renovations. And somebody update that banner, though, would they?
I know.
Who's going to do it? Who do I need to call?
We got somebody's in charge. If somebody's getting paid for it, they
my
will.
gosh.
They'll get it. They'll get it updated.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you, Jay.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay. Talk to you soon.
All right, Nikki, and So I really appreciate you so much. And I, again, will place the link inside of the comments here in a few minutes. You saw the share earlier on the Facebook page, but look forward to staying in contact with you, especially with projects surrounded by veterans. Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you, Jay.
Okay, go study hard. Okay, we'll see you soon. All right, well, again, folks, if you want to make a donation, you can here, Moving Veterans Forward. All you have to do is get online, click in the comments. There'll be a place where you can make that donation. I'm going to show you right now where that looks like. So if you just share, if you just look here. Thank you, John Baker and Al Novacek, for liking the post. Again, it is in many different places. Look at all this good happening right here. That's awesome. But as you can see, all of the comments right here, if you just click on this link, I'm going to walk you through this right now. If you click on the link, it tells you about the Omaha, the Midlands Community Foundation, and talks right here, the Moving Veterans Forward Fund. You click on it. You can click on Donate Now, and you can contribute. So you can do a one-time, you can do monthly, quarterly, annual, however you want to do it. You can, it'll designate it to the fund. And again, you can say one-time, monthly, quarterly. I'm telling you right now, even a monthly stipend of $100 goes a long way. You may not have the lump sum, but if you want to give it, over time, that's great. But all the money that gets deposited in today or this month until December, I believe I have it here.
I think it's January 3rd.
January 3rd, yes, January 3rd. Oh, January 5th.
Yes. Yeah.
5th are eligible for the Midlands Community Foundation's matching charitable program. So, Ron, thanks for joining me again.
Okay, no, I had a couple of dignitaries come in
Oh, yes.
on my level. These aren't politicians.
Yes, dignitaries on your
Yeah.
level.
Defiant Harley.
Yes,
Defiance here.
yes,
if
that's
you want to put
awesome.
them on.
What's up, guys?
What's up? All right, jump on.
All right, here we go. Hang on.
I know this guy has way more energy. I've seen him on Facebook 197 times on my timeline. Jay Morales.
Eric Nelson from Defiance. Woo!
Yes, Eric. Woo! Let's go. All right, so I'm going to put us on screen here. Let me stop the share. Eric, if it's okay if I call you Eric.
Yeah,
All right, here
you
we
bet.
go. So let me stop that screen share. Here we go. So I've seen you do poker runs with them. I've
Yes.
seen you do many other things with many other organizations. You guys are definitely standing out from just a motorcycle dealership, right?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
And so how did you meet Ron Hernandez?
Oh, man, he came out to our dealership and told us everything, what was going on, and we are definitely behind you guys 150%. So,
That's awesome. So
Yes.
how long ago was that? Was that recent or a couple of years back? or-
recent, he asked me to do this for you guys, and I know our event coordinator, Sarah, lines everything up.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm big here for you guys.
That's awesome. Well, I can tell you. So I met Ron about 3 years ago. I just donated a couch, right? I was like, oh, what do I do with this couch? We're real estate agents. And I'm like, what do we do with this couch?
Awesome.
And then I sat there and I'm like, man, what's going on here? Oh, they're helping veterans. Oh, a lot of
Yes.
veterans. And I, for one, suffered from home insecurity after I got out of the military,
Yep.
just sleeping on friends' couches, not knowing where your next meal was. And I want you to know this, like, when people participate in your poker runs, I don't care if it's $1, $10,
Yes.
$100, $1,000, you're helping someone who served this country, and right, they will not ask for themselves for help.
Correct, yep.
But tell me, what is your connection? Do you have a connection to the military, or your?
Yes, actually, my dad was in the Vietnam War.
Oh, man, thank you for his service, brother. That's awesome.
And I want to give a shout out to all the veterans out here too. Thank you for your service, honestly.
That's awesome, Eric. I mean, so it's Eric or Eric?
Eric, yep,
Oh, yeah.
yep.
So Eric,
Yep.
so can you describe one of the last poker runs, how that worked, and kind of like what you guys were able to raise, and
Yes.
because I know it conflicted because he had to be in two places at once, one
Right,
at your event and one
right,
at my event.
right.
But we worked it out, and it got rained out or something like that, or something happened,
Yep.
the weather. So can some people don't know what a poker run is?
Oh, poker run's awesome.
Yeah.
We met, get everybody signed up. You meet at the dealership in the morning, and we have a set poker run. So basically, you get some cards. Best hand will win prizes.
Yep.
And then there's certain spots where you pick out a certain card, and the best hand wins. It's a lot of fun, guys. I
No,
mean,
it's an all day or half day event kind
yeah,
of.
it's
Is that
usually
right?
a half a day.
That's awesome. So last event, what was it? What was the name of that last event that you guys did with?
Sarah would have more on that one. She's the event coordinator. I don't remember, but
Well, let's get Sarah over here then too. Sarah, will you
right,
come on? Is she?
yeah, yep. Sarah, come on over.
Yeah, come on over. So this is Sarah, the
Yes.
event coordinator. So Sarah, we will have you answer just some questions here. You'll be the attorney, and he'll be your client. So, because I asked him a question already, he didn't know.
I was like, freeze.
So Sarah, will you tell me what was the last poker run? It was just recently with Moving Veterans Forward. Is that right?
Actually, we'll be doing it again in July. I apologize. It's going to be the second Saturday in July, and we do a poker run. We go to we actually try to find military type stops.
Yes.
And then we raise money, and all the money will go directly towards moving veterans forward.
That's awesome. How many people has it grown over time, or
It has.
how many riders do you have, or is that what we call it, riders or participants? I don't
Yeah,
know.
riders. That's good. Yeah.
First year we were about 60. The next year we were about 120. So we're hoping, my goal is to get to 300.
Wow.
Right, Eric? We're gonna
Yes,
get
300,
Wow,
baby.
that's awesome. So while we're here, I want to show you a couple things on the screen. The audience may not see it, but I want to show you what I think I want to do with you guys next year. So, and I'm not putting you on the spot. You don't have to say yes. Don't be obligated.
You're talking about his 50-mile march?
Yes, yes.
So what are you thinking about us doing it?
So I'm thinking like this will be the longest motorcycle brigade ever that we have seen in a long while. So I'm going to show you some of the things like some of our landing. Where's the photos? There you go. Okay. So this was us landing towards the end. It was pretty awesome.
Right.
Let's see. Here's some. So this was just a group of people who they just
there we go.
volunteered. But man, this is the sound. The Harley Davidson is the sound of freedom.
Yes.
I mean, I was choking up. They literally were probably 250 feet in front of us, and you can just smell the exhaust.
Oh,
and
yes.
you knew like we were
Feel
almost
the rumble,
there.
baby.
Yes, absolutely. You know what I'd like to do? See, this is the Capitol
Oh, wow.
right here. This is Lincoln. I'd love to flood the Capitol and just park
Let's
all our
do it,
bikes
guys.
up on the steps. Up on the steps.
Yes.
What's the worst case, right?
Right.
What's the worst case they'll do? And then here's the final approach. This is what it looks like. And this.
Oh, that's
isn't that
awesome.
nuts? It's just
That's
crazy.
absolutely amazing.
And
Look at those American flags flying.
Oh my gosh, it's
Wow.
amazing. And could you imagine and there's Taylor right over there. I don't know if you met her earlier, but and then we get to the end here and it's we raised about
Oh, that's
125,000
Oh my
at
gosh,
the end.
that's so amazing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, we started it a couple years back. I was talking a bunch of junk, right? Telling my friends like, "Oh, I'm gonna walk 50 miles," and like, sure you are, Jay, sure you are. And
Let's do it.
and my combat wounded buddy said, "Jay, for an able-bodied vet, you really talk a lot of smack." And that's what he said. He threw it down, and I said to
Nice.
myself, "Man, okay, there's no reason. There's Ron, right
Okay,
there.
yep.
There's Ron Hernandez.
Oh,
there.
yeah. There he is.
Yep, and the reason we sleep on the steps is to
Yep.
symbolize that.
Wait, so you really do sleep on the steps?
Oh well, symbolically.
Yep.
Okay.
So for about 25 minutes, we're laying there, and
I'm
we're
sure you
talking
are
about
after that 50 mile.
oh my gosh,
Oh, there we
that
go.
was before. Oh my God, that was before. And that was before. Yeah, and it's just to remind you that veterans sleep under bridges. They're at bus stops.
Right.
They're under the freeway. I mean, they're displaced,
Yep.
and they don't know how to ask for help. They certainly don't know how to ask for help because
Right.
we've been taught to not ever ask for help or a handout.
Right.
Sometimes they just need a hand up. But so again, without I don't want to over ask, but I really want to talk to you guys next year, and it's
Oh, yeah.
August. It's in
All the
August.
way.
Well, we better get together here pretty quick.
Heck yes,
Calendars
heck
are,
yes.
so
That'd be awesome. Yes,
let's
and
do it. I like this idea.
so Ron Hernandez, you know, when he, how did you guys like meet him? Did he seek you out or did you seek him
I
out?
knew him when I worked for the mortuary.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
used to help out and volunteer for stuff.
So you're how they all got hooked up.
Yep.
So what's your role at Harley? I mean, I see you on Facebook
He's
all
our
the time.
mascot.
Yes.
So I'm actually in bike sales. I sell the bikes, but
and you're the
I-
guy that goes, whoo!
Yes, you got it. You got it. I do all the social media.
Yeah.
You know, I'm basically the mascot for Defiance.
Sure. Well,
And,
I wouldn't call it a mascot. I'd call it. I'd call it. So in the military, we have a position called the guidon.
Okay.
It's the most important visible position.
There we
that
go.
Doesn't require a title,
All
but
right.
it's leadership all day
Yes.
long.
I
That's
am-
what
yep.
it is.
Definitely
You're the
him.
guidon.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. So whenever you run through a room, you just say guidon, and everybody gets out of the way.
Nice.
So here it is. So see here, right here, that's the guidon.
oh yeah.
That
So
is
sometimes you're in the front, sometimes you're in the back,
Oh,
and this
yeah.
person rallies all of us. This is again final approach. You can see the Harleys in the distance, but long story short is that's the person who, when you need to spearhead an effort, when you need to start working harder, when you need to influence the troops in the direction, that's you, brother.
You get me choked up right there.
How long you been riding?
Oh, I've been riding since I was 9 years old.
Oh my gosh, so
I've
that's
ridden them
5
all.
years. 5 years.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, many years riding.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
awesome. So tell me a little bit about it, right? You know,
Yes.
guys like us watch guys like you, and
Yep.
you know, I admire it. I'll tell you, I think it's one of the most patriotic things to ever witness. I think what people don't realize that guys like you and organizations like yourselves want to give back to the community. You know what I mean?
Yes, all the time.
And I think. Who else do you support? Is it? Do you guys have a concentrated set of people, or is it as people come up to you guys? How do you
No.
pick and choose?
Well, in all honesty, we do choose organizations that truthfully are affiliated with motorcycles.
Okay.
And veterans.
Yes, that's
and
awesome.
children. In fact, today, Eric and his wife actually put together a calendar and raised all the money to help go and
Yep.
buy Christmas presents for foster families with autism.
Foster families, yep.
That was
Local.
Eric
Omaha and
spearheaded-
Council Bluffs.
Yep.
Local.
Eric
Yep.
spearheaded that and did a fabulous job with it.
Can you imagine being a kid around this time of the year, a kid who's in a challenged household where we know barely the heat bill is going to get paid,
Right.
and you know mom or dad or somebody wants to help, and all that kid knows is, I hope I get a toy for Christmas. That's all they know.
Right.
And some aren't going to get any.
Nope.
You know, we can't help all of them, right? But the difference that you do make when tell me what that does for you, man. Let it out here, bro.
Great feeling. Belief is due. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry, bro. Let it out. Let it out.
The
I want
great-
people to feel your pain.
the greater good. This is what we're about. You know, we want to do everything, even for veterans, kids. You know, we're the Harley culture. We're all about that. We are the first ones that would go into a burning house to save your pet, to save your kid. I mean, we are there.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
that's
man.
us.
For sure. I can hear you choke up with pride, bro. I mean, I'm serious. Like, this is not something we get to sit down and talk about every day.
Right.
We're-
Yeah, I'm a Harley rider. I'm
Exactly.
supposed to be
You're not
tough
supposed to
and
be like
rough
that.
and
Right.
yeah, right.
But sometimes it's the most
yeah.
passionate people.
yeah, we have
that-
the biggest heart.
that
in
get
my
stuff
opinion.
done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the most giving people you will ever meet.
Absolutely. I'm sure. You know, sometimes there's people who think they don't have time to give back, right? Oh, I don't have time.
Right.
Oh, I don't have much.
Yep.
What would you say to those people? Like,
Right. Anything you guys can give, $1, volunteer your time, show your appreciations for all those veterans out there, do what you can. Even to thank every veteran out there for their service, no matter if they're retired, active, whatever it is, man. Give your appreciation because they give us our freedom in this USA.
Yes.
USA. That's right, guys. That's right.
So I want to also open up the culture. So
Yes.
people see Harley Davidson, right? And I'll tell you, I've got friends who are like, oh, I can't go in there because I'm not Harley enough, but
Not
isn't it open to everyone?
It is open to everybody, young, old. It doesn't
Yes.
matter. You ever see Harley Davidson? You have the skull.
Yes.
The skull does. There's no judgment there. You can be any color, race, whatever, any walk of life. You are welcome at Harley Davidson.
That's awesome.
In our culture.
And so, I would invite people just to get to know the brand, but
Yes.
but beyond the brand, the people.
The people.
I have
yes.
seen you guys from afar for so long. And
Right.
again, because of people like Ron Hernandez, moving
Yep.
veterans forward, I'm getting to know, this community.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, so I'm 51 years old now, and
Yep.
my patriotic self has just reemerged. When
Nice.
I got out of the military,
Okay.
I didn't really know what it meant to be a veteran.
Right.
Matter of fact, I didn't even participate in the Saudi Arabia parade that they had because, again, I just didn't know what the value was.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I lost my way too.
Mm-hmm.
I suffered from my own little, battle wounds of war. But,
Right.
when organizations like you provide hope, and I want people to know that, when they see this online, that this is not just Harley Davidson. These are people, right?
Correct.
These are real
Correct.
people
Yes.
who just want to make a damn difference.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
we will make a difference in this, guys.
This is so awesome. I believe. Did you ride today?
No, not today.
Because I know that-
those temps are going down, man.
Oh, yeah,
That's why.
yeah. You deliver Christmas presents
Well,
today.
yeah, I picked
Yep.
them up. That's
Oh, you
why.
picked them up.
That's why.
Yep.
When do you get to drop them off?
So December 11th, we're actually doing some foster kids a separate hour,
Yes.
like 4:30 to 5:30. We're going to give them all out to the foster kids. So they made lists for us, and we actually went through, took the time to pick what they want. We had, we did this calendar, bikes and bombshells. We did.
Yes.
Absolutely
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes.
So we actually sold out real quick, and we can do all this Christmas for them with the gifts that we're given. We're going to get this. They'll never forget this Christmas.
That's
and we're going to do
awesome.
this every year. And same thing with veterans. We'd
Yes.
love to do some more with you guys, and
Man,
you.
Bikes and bombshells. You're
Yep.
telling me someone put together that calendar?
Yep, I did.
Eric did.
Yes.
Yep.
And someone shot it, put it to and designed it.
Yep.
And then how many did you sell?
200.
We need to sell 2,000 next year.
Right?
Yes. How much
Oh,
are
yeah.
they? How much were they a piece?
$20 a piece.
Oh, we're gonna up the price on that. We're gonna get some serious. We're gonna make an event just like this, and maybe we can interview every person
Oh, yeah.
that appeared in it. That would be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you feel? See, this
And-
is how
and-
stuff starts.
Right?
This is
and all the
you should never
bombshells.
involve me. You should never involve me because I just love to do things like this. Would that be awesome?
Yes.
Could we do that?
Yeah, that would
Like,
be amazing.
Could we do it at your store?
Yes.
Yes, let's do it.
Holy
We have-
smoke!
in fact, you can come while we're doing our other events with Ron and
Oh,
any
yeah.
of our events. You
Yep.
want to visit?
Yeah,
Yes.
and all the
So much.
bombshells that did the calendar pictures,
Yes.
they
They're
are
gonna be
all
there.
local Omaha and Council Bluffs women that did
Oh
it.
my gosh! That,
Absolutely beautiful. They're beautiful.
Yep.
How awesome would that be? Oh, that's
Becky's
so
one of
awesome.
ours.
Becky, my wife's name is Becky.
Oh!
Yes, that's neighbors. That's our neighbor. Yes, that is our neighbor. Did you not know this?
I know
It's not
these-
clicking right now.
Do you know who I am? I live across the street from you.
Oh,
Bailey works with me.
I didn't mean to swear.
Yes,
Sorry.
no, did you not know this?
Now it's clicking. It's been a while.
Do you know how often these people mow their lawn like habitually? Like it's like a. Do you know we know each other?
Yeah. Now it's all clicking. Isn't this a small world? This is Jay.
And
This is Jay.
yes. And they have the best Halloween display. They have a freaking Grand Canyon rock setup in their front yard.
That's freaking awesome.
Oh man.
I did not
I'm
realize
totally
this.
floored right now.
That is
Wait,
awesome.
do you? I mean, when I say neighbors, I don't mean like down the street. I mean
Right.
across the street.
Okay, all right.
This is so.
See, this brought us all together.
This is so.
This is
When I
what
saw-
happens.
So I saw you from the side. I always see you with the hat though, mowing and walking your dogs.
Yep.
So we never get to see everyone all dressed up and that.
Right.
And this is crazy.
We just made history, folks.
I just sweat. I just paid it out.
I did too. I'm sweating.
Eric, I had no idea. I've been watching you on Facebook. This is so crazy.
Hilarious.
because Bailey's got his commercial license and everything right now, just about, right?
Yep,
Like,
yep. He's actually training people to fly now too. Isn't that crazy?
He's the instructor.
Yeah, he's an instructor.
That's
and,
awesome,
Fort
man.
Myers. Yeah.
I'm so happy for because when I saw your video with Ron and
Right.
and Ron's like, hey, I just want to let you guys know about moving veteran before. You're like, no, you guys are gonna be
That's right. That's right, guys.
This is so. You know that this is the most we've ever spoken.
Yes. Yes.
that
And
is
how many years have we
hilarious.
been there?
Hey, but I'm one of the cool
12,
neighbors.
13.
I'm one of the
Yes,
cool
you are.
neighbors.
Yes,
you know, I'm
yeah.
one of the cool neighbors. Because my wife's name is Becky. Remember we talked about
Yep.
this.
Yep.
This is so nuts. Did we just become best friends?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
You're going to be riding a bike soon.
This is nuts. Now it
Yeah,
might
Jay, you
be.
gonna come on for a Harley or what?
No doubt. No doubt. We could. I know you have ones with training wheels.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got a couple of those.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Oh wow. I feel like that's a challenge. If Becky's riding and I'm not,
Right.
This is so crazy,
Yep.
guys. Aaron, this is so. Or Eric.
Yep.
This is so cleansing for my soul, brother.
Awesome.
I had no idea. I mean, I was like, oh well, I know her,
Right.
And then I didn't know you're at heart. Okay, now I know. It's over. We know now.
Yeah.
Good gosh.
It's in stone right now. Bam. We're neighbors.
You guys aren't moving anytime soon, right?
No,
Because the whole neighborhood's moving out. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that
Yeah,
another
yeah,
time.
yeah, right.
But anyway, to get in
Hey,
contact
we need
with
some
Eric,
neighbors.
some cool ones.
Yeah.
So
Only
when-
cool ones.
Now we're gonna get our house egged.
Yeah. Toilet paper in the yard.
Oh my gosh. This is so awesome, man. This is so awesome. Well, I appreciate all that you guys do at Defiance Harley. This was a magical moment for me. I need you to know this. Like, this couldn't have been scripted.
Right.
This couldn't have been replicated or even planned well
Right.
for. And you guys, on a Sunday, as busy as we all
Oh, yeah.
are, we're here.
Right.
And
Right.
are we drinking a lot of this after?
Oh yes. Here we go.
That's what we're doing. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I'm going to get together with you.
You bet. You bet.
We are going to do some
Oh, yes.
damage.
Amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We are.
I like
do you
it.
drink bourbon?
I'll drink anything you put in front of me.
Yes.
I'm a little fishy. Or a sponge, whatever you want to call it.
let's do sponge.
Sponge.
Yeah, let's do the sponge.
Can you put a plug for
Yes. Yes.
for
If-
Santa and
Yes. Yes. Put the plug up.
Yep. So, guys, at Defiance Harley Davidson, we have actually pictures with Santa. We're actually going to be December 11th from 11 to 4 p.m. Bring in your pets, kids, yourself.
Yes.
Is it online now
it is.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Yep.
at Defiance?
Yep. You
Okay.
got it.
Yep. Keep going. Keep going.
Otherwise, December 18th, another exciting event. We have pictures with the Grinch. Yeah, that's right. The Grinch.
Yes.
It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I'm bringing your pets, kids. That's going to be 11 to 4 p.m. also. The other, yeah. Watch my videos on Facebook. Man.
Yes.
I'm also on TikTok. It's Eric at Defiance. Definitely check them out. I got some entertaining ones in there. So
That's awesome, man. Oh my gosh. Look at this.
yeah, I try to create the elf on the shelf kind of character. Yeah, Mariah Carey was a fun
Oh
one.
my gosh. This is great. Look at all the work that you do.
Yes.
We actually just raised all the blood on Friday.
Yep.
Oh my
We got
gosh.
a blood drive there. Oh yeah, we do amazing stuff at Defiance. We definitely are going to do a lot more stuff next year. Yeah, we want to go above and beyond.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Riders.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yes, the stunt riders were awesome. We actually had guys jumping dirt bikes over a couple semis about a month ago. Yes,
On
it was
72nd
amazing.
Where
And
was
it
this at?
Right at
here
the
in front.
dealership.
Nuh-uh.
Right in front.
Hold on.
Right-
What kind of permission do you have to get
I
to
don't know.
do
You
this?
got to talk to Sarah about that one.
We pretended, could you shut 72nd Street down? And they said,
Yeah, we might have
"No."
caused a couple
And I
accidents
said,
that
"We're gonna
day.
use the grass." And they said, okay.
Hey, White Hawk's pretty cool. We have a pretty land.
Yeah,
good
let's do it.
landscape there at the park.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we should do a neighborhood bike ride.
Perfect.
We should culturize some people.
All right, deal. Deal.
No, so you guys are definitely community oriented.
Yes.
You're event driven. You love nonprofits. Is there anything that we can do to help your business? I'm asking you to help your business now. What can we do?
Stop by the dealership, guys. We are a complete family there. Any walk of life, just come on by and be a part of this culture.
I love that, man. I love that when you say any walk of life, and it's coming from you, because I'll tell you, it's too many times it's that whimsical, magical, like, oh, you're not supposed to. Hey, I don't, my beard is definitely not as long as yours. This is 4 years. This is 4 months for me. 4 days, maybe.
But it's amazing. I mean, we have doctors, lawyers.
Yes.
We even have people that are just, maybe on a budget, but they want that Harley.
Yes.
And like I said, any race,
That's
anything.
so awesome.
I mean, it's.
Well, now I'm going to knock on your door and tell you about, hey, don't forget next year. No, but any way that I could to participate in some of your events, I'd love to help you guys podcast as well.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Like, this is just going to be a whole bunch of good.
Line it up, Sarah.
Yes, let's do it. Eric, thank
Jay,
you. Thank you,
yes,
brother. Good
you
seeing
bet.
Thank
Anytime,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for everything that you guys have done. I mean, it's amazing. Appreciation. Thank you for all your service, guys. And one more. Woo, baby.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All good. We're all good. So, as we continue, wow, that was pretty amazing. I have another guest coming on here in the next few minutes. So if you want to make a donation, again, thank you to Defiance Harley for all of your support. Thank you for all of your doings in the community. And definitely you're going to see more of them. So don't forget, we're going to have a couple more guests here in the next few minutes. We're going to have Better Homes and Gardens, Tom Simmons. If you want to make a donation, it is definitely in the link. So all you have to do is click on the link, and you'll be able to see your donation and your comment link on the link right there. Thank you again, Defiance Harley Davidson. So they're now in the comments. So if you want to click on the link and follow them, again, we have auction items here. We have a live auction, and we have items that you can purchase as well. Remember that the Midlands Community Foundation is matching today. They are matching. And let me tell you how it works. So if you click on the link and you see the midlandscommunity.org, and it's until January 5th, all the funds that get donated is a matching charitable program. Under the program, the Midlands Charity Foundation will provide matching funds on a dollar per dollar basis, limited to $5,000 per individual donor and $100,000 of matching dollars available aggregate. So that's a pretty big deal. Everything that we raise from this event today that follows the guidelines will be matched by the the Midlands Community Foundation. So thank you so much for their support and definitely all the work that they're doing. We also want to say, thank you so much to all of our friends, especially here at Soldier Valley Spirits. Let's see. There's Tom Simmons right there. Yes, Tom, step on up, fresh out of the car. Here we go.
Sorry, Jay.
No, it's all good.
Late.
No, you are not late at all. We just got done with Defiance Harley Davidson, so put that on there, Tom. How are you?
Good, my friend.
Yes, and nothing like just rolling out of the car and jumping right in.
Well, I'm glad to be here with you. What a cool place.
Cool. Hey, so here, if you move it just closer to yourself, there you go, Tom. So we've talked with a lot of organizations today, a lot of people who have supported veteran communities, veteran causes. And we had people like Royalty on here. Royalty Roofing was just on here. We've had a couple of Defiance Harley. We've just had stories. There's a family here that, as a matter of fact, was adopted by Patriarch Distillers. And we helped them, just kind of figure some things out and help them get back on their feet. But Tom Simmons is no stranger in this community to being a good citizen and a good neighbor, and we appreciate that. And I don't want to embellish because I know you get embarrassed or you shy easily away from formal, what do you call that, compliments. But I do want to ask Tom how important it is as, the broker at Better Homes and Gardens, the Good Life Group. What role does your giving back play in the community, or what's your view there?
Well, I think, Jay, that, we've been clearly we've got two people here that are sitting here with technology, that one that's used to it and really good at it, and I would be the other one.
No,
And,
you're good. You're doing really well.
So not being a very important guy, I don't have very many opportunities to be in a media environment. But I would just say this, Jay, that it's people like yourself that have kind of instilled that fire in the belly and that need for giving back. And when we have a very, as you know, we have a very gracious and giving group of real estate professionals in our organization. And so every day I'm challenged and humbled by all the different ways that our folks have given back in one capacity or another, whether it be time, talent, or treasure. And as you know, all three are important because you participate in all three. You don't just do one, and one's great, and we'll take anything, right? If time is all somebody has, wonderful. If
And
talent,
sometimes that's more valuable than
100%.
treasure. Or
And I almost say it from the reverse. I mean,
Yes.
things can't happen without people initiating it and demonstrating leadership like yourself. Of course, then you give money too, and you obviously have a lot of talent. So I have had the pleasure and privilege to be associated with a lot of different folks that in our organization and beyond that have afforded us the opportunity to see different opportunities for giving in different capacities. And so one of those, as you know, because you experienced it, you were the patriarch, no pun intended, but you were the patriarch of this organization that you founded that has been so incredible. We'll just call it the 50-mile march for the sake of foundation for the sake of argument,
Right.
And have done incredible things for the veterans in our community. And so I've been so moved by your commitment and generosity of both time and treasure. So I've been able to recognize not only that there's a great need for different organizations, but also a great responsibility for us that bear the fruits of the labor of the veterans and what they've given us. So that organization in particular and the veterans in particular. But beyond that, I guess it goes back to the old adage, to those that much is given, much is expected.
Yes.
And we have an obligation. We've been very, very fortunate. We happen to participate in an industry that has done well.
Yes.
And we also participate in an organization that has done well, which is a tribute to the 276 people we have, not certainly to me, but understanding that we've been benefited from that. We need to be part of the solution because there are challenges out there, and we need to be making sure that as a community, as a company, as individuals, that we're doing our part to make sure that that this place called Earth is a little better when we leave than we found it.
And I think that's important, Tom. One of the things I talk about, the three levels of help. One is I have to help, right? You ask your kids, hey, you guys got to help us clean the dishes, right? That's a have to help. That's the first layer of help. The second layer of help is, maybe I should, I'm able to, I'm able to help because I can. And then the third position of help, which I think, definitely that you're part of, is you get to help. You get to use your time, treasure, and talents, Tom. And I think it's not just only the veteran community. Everyone at Better Homes and Gardens has a diverse heart, right? What they have their own causes that they are all passionate about, and you support them. That's got to be a hard balancing act too.
Well, it's yes and no. I look at it as an opportunity, really. That's the cool thing is we do have very involved, community-oriented, giving individuals, both with all three of the topics that we've discussed: time, treasure, and talent. So actually, it's a privilege because it affords us the opportunity to see so many things, and we have a tendency to try to take advantage of organizations that maybe don't always get in the limelight,
right,
but that are doing great work.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. There's so many amazing national charities, and we all need to be cognizant of the good work they do. And by all means, I am, and some of us give to different ones in different ways. But I think sometimes the dirty little secret, Jay, is the small local folks that where a lot of the dollars get back to the community,
Yes.
they get forgotten sometimes,
Yes.
or their voice isn't as loud just because they don't have as big a megaphone. And speaking of which, I'm a loud talker because I don't hear very well. So if I'm being really
this
loud,
is great.
my wife, I was on the phone today. My wife's like, "Oh my God, you're so loud." I was like, "Okay, I'm trying to be not so loud. I'm working on it. I can't hear anything." So
No.
then when you can't hear, it's like that's what happens. Old people, they can't hear, and then they're loud.
my
So,
gosh.
but at any rate, yeah. So that's been kind of a cool thing to watch, and I don't know. I mean, it's always been there, but I kind of feel like over the last decade, there's been these really cool boutique
Yes.
organizations manifest
Yes.
themselves, and you see the work that's done. Like I just had a meeting with, and I'm going to get this wrong. God, I hope I don't get this wrong. But I just had a meeting yesterday, and there's an organization called Foster Loves, and basically, they are a conduit and facilitate. I'm going to butcher it because I haven't talked to the director yet, but they do really cool things with foster children that are very unique to that experience and very focused. And
Yeah.
God, I mean, you just kind of think about it and you're like, what is more important than the welfare of a child? Not
Right.
not much.
Not
I
much.
mean, I don't know how you get a greater priority than that. So
Yeah.
again, small organization. They were looking for a way to store some of the clothing that they provide these children in transition. And then we have a woman that's in our brokerage, and I have not gotten cleared to talk about
That's
it.
okay.
So
We
I won't.
we can talk about it, that woman.
What I will tell you is it's as simple as the dignity from when children have to move from home to home.
Yes.
That they have a suitcase.
And
As
yes.
opposed to a
trash bag.
plastic trash bag,
Yes.
because then the direct thought process is that my only worldly possessions, not the possessions matter, but particularly in that context, but are trash.
Right.
And just the idea that no, I have a suitcase to
Right.
take my possessions and my belongings to my next
Yes.
place that I'm going to reside. It doesn't sound like much. It sounds kind of inconsequential, but it sure is consequential to the people that are experiencing that. And it kind of sets the tone. So just the idea of dignity. I mean, I think
yeah.
if we can, if one word has kind of resonated with me from the standpoint of all these charitable opportunities and our responsibility to give back is everybody deserves security, freedom, and maybe most importantly, dignity.
I never thought about it like that, because we associate importance of missions of clothing and shelter and providing and, things and funds and things of that nature, but we never really know what it's for because think of dignity. When was the last time you got stuck on something that you really wanted to ask help for? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
When you and I, people like anyone, the human says, "Oh, I need help," but they don't want to ask for it, right? There's this innate feeling that you do not want to ask for help, and I think that's so bad. But think of the dignity of having a suitcase, the dignity of having a bed to sleep in, proper covers, clothing, toothpaste. I mean, think of having to apologize. Sometimes people forget to brush their teeth, right? And I'm sorry, I forgot to brush my teeth. Some people don't get to.
Right.
A makeshift toothbrush. I mean, I know I travel on the
Or
road.
to have running water. I mean, excuse
Yes,
me for
running
interrupting,
water.
but to have the running water to use. I mean, you can have a toothbrush and toothpaste, but if you don't have running water or the access to a clean bottled water, I mean, this sounds almost ridiculous, the way I'm saying it. But at the end of the day, I mean, there is so much that we just inherently, and I say we, I mean me, we just take for granted. And
Yes.
and then the other thing is, God, I know we're kind of on a.
No,
this
this
is
is
a
fine.
bad
This is
thing,
great.
Jay, because
No, this is great.
you and I
We
are
could-
like
we
we could
have our own show.
Oh my God, we could have this telethon thing. I mean, Jerry Lewis, we put him to shame.
Yes.
We never shut up.
Yes, which is awesome.
But
Which-
yeah, and now I've talked so much in circles, I can't remember what I was going to say. But I think that I do know now. It's the idea that at the end of the day, that just the fundamental things that we on a daily basis take for granted that are not available to so many. And boy, oh boy, the elephant in the room that nobody, I think everybody, and it seems like it's more prevalent, we struggle with it, is mental illness.
Yes.
Talk about not asking for help.
Yes.
There's so much, it's so pervasive, the amount of tragedy, loss, violence, that it stems from mental illness that is so outside of the scope or the ability of the individual that's perpetuating this.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know that we can ever do enough, because if you look at almost every tragic event that has multiple atrocities, you could almost tie some element of it to some element of mental illness.
Well, and if you think, and so when you say the word mental illness, people react in different ways, right? They say something wrong with them. Well, sometimes we can attribute it to just mental ability. Their mental ability, different people have different skills, right? People know how to identify, self-diagnose, and say, well, this is wrong. I should raise my hand and ask for help. I think that's an ability, right? Mm-hmm. Some of us haven't been trained that way, or we've been trained the opposite, to not ask for help, which then creates the domino effect. One bad thing, the next bad thing, and then your mindset changes to where, well, I'm just going to lay down and accept it. I'm just going to crumble apart, and I'm just going to crawl in a hole. And I think organizations or people who have the ability to help, like us, we have the responsibility to be a champion for them. Just like now we're asking for people to, donate time and money and resources to organizations that help people who they should have the dignity to have a home. I mean, that's what we do at the core of our business at real estate is everyone deserves secure housing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think at the end of the day, when we really think about it, very small percentage of the homeless population is there by choice.
Right.
And even if they are there, and I think in rare instances, people just kind of want to be their own thing and be nomadic in the sense, and that I think
off the grid,
sure.
That's a choice.
But I think a lot of that comes from maybe an opportunity for their mental health in certain circumstances, that there could be enhancement, and then that could evolve into something that would maybe change their mindset, and maybe from they could be healthier, they could be happier. You've got homelessness. There's a lot of risk with that. There's the elements. There's not getting a proper health care. There's there's a million different.
There's no continuity
issues.
of care or life because you're struggling for the next environment. Think about this. Think of one of your kids, right? When they were, let's say they were small children. When you move a child from room to room in the house, there's some adjustment there, right?
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
But some of these kids are moved, displaced from an option of calling a home.
Yeah.
Man, can you think about, and these are veterans' children's, veterans' kids.
Absolutely. There's, and to me, and I don't know, and I probably said a lot of stupid things. I tend to, but at the end of the day, I look at our veterans, I look at the elderly, I look at those that maybe have, from the standpoint of their mental capacity, however that manifests itself, and our veterans, because they've endured so much on our behalf, and the atrocities of war. Let's face it. Let's call it what it is. There's some things that occur, and I'm pro veteran. This is not a political statement.
No.
This is not a criticism of the military complex or anything else. It has nothing to do with any of that. But we have an obligation as a society to take care of those people. The very freedom that we get to experience and appreciate. This experiment, the United States of America, come on. How does it get any better than this? I know that we have a lot of vitriol in our country, conservative, liberal, all that stuff. And it's
left or right.
Left, right, whatever. And I totally think it's manufactured from a power perspective. I think this is the greatest country in the world, and we do have great obligations. It's the greatest time to live, and the greatest country in the greatest country in the world, that's ever existed. And we have such and it's those people that have preserved that freedom that creates that stability that affords us the opportunity to feel comfortable every day that we're safe. And that's what creates vibrant economies and stability and what have you. And so those that and the very people that have created the opportunity for us to have that level of freedom, what an obligation we have to give back to those folks. So we're giving them the resources that they need so that they can assimilate back into our society in an effective and fair and appropriate, dignified way.
And
we don't do enough. We just don't.
Well, you definitely do a fair share of your portion, I will tell you, Tom. And again, from when you were saying we have an obligation and responsibility to help, and sometimes, like you said, there's all these powers that be that are power struggling, that are creating a narrative on how we should live. Okay, that's fine. That's happening. But when the underdogs like you and I from our little forts are able to create a little bit of good in a moment in time, that's exponential, right? And I'll just call it what it is. Your donation of $25,000 last year from Better Homes and Gardens, and your time, your example. Tom, I'm just going to call it what it is. When you said you're going to walk with us, a lot of other people got involved because of your example. I'm just going to say it, right? And we just do have to remember that people are watching what we do. And I'm watching what people do. But I'm saying to you is people who get involved, who have a good connection with other people, tend to get more people involved. So I'm grateful for that.
Well, you're kind to say that, Jay. Your leadership has been beyond. I don't know that you can place a value on the leadership and the impact you make in our community. And this is just one forum. I mean, it's hilarious. Like yesterday, I'm at a thing and so and so is like, "Oh yeah, Jay's DJing my wedding," and I'm like, "Of course he is." I'm like, not to make light of it, but
Yes,
the guy. I don't know what you don't do. I'm looking for what you don't do. Say what he does do. It's easier to say what Jay doesn't do.
I don't change oil.
Yeah, good.
I don't change oil.
Well, good. I found something. I'm going to go learn how to change oil just so I can say I do something that you don't do, because I'm pretty sure that's the only thing.
No.
But it's. And if I'm being honest, Jay, I kind of think, some of us, and I'll put myself in this category, I think we're making up for lost time, and when we can do good, we need to do good. And I haven't always, there's up and down and all around,
For sure.
like everybody else.
Me too.
And, I had my own problem. Far from perfect, and it's but you see people struggling at particular. Do you have somebody coming?
No.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
see
listening.
people coming in at certain points in time, and I think the key is if we just all had this approach, and I've not been as good about it as I should have been, but if we did what we could when we can, if we just do what we can when we can, so if there's a couple extra bucks in your pocket and,
Yes.
you can do it, then do it. If there's an extra hour in an afternoon, to do nothing else than make a couple phone calls to people that maybe can use that words of encouragement. There's so many small things that we can do. $5 aggregates fast. $10.
Right. But the absence of $5 aggregates just as fast.
Absolutely.
When they don't have that heating bill or that next. We ran out of butter on my house this weekend. Do you know what kind of travesty that was, right? That sounds stupid. It's not a travesty, but I'm saying, I'm not comparing, but I can't imagine. I want people to know that I know that I'm fortunate enough, and I want people to know that they can depend on me for that. I want to help. Yeah. I want to not just give poisonously. I don't want to give for the sake of helping. I want to give because I feel like this country and this society and the life has given me so much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There is a sense of obligation, and you know what? That's not a bad thing.
Right.
There should be.
Right.
Come on. When I meant it when we said we live in the greatest country in the world at
We
the
do.
greatest time to live in it.
Yes.
if you look at it, you look at it kind of in an aggregated sense, not to be a utopian, but it doesn't really get much better than this. And I know there's people that are left behind. I'm not diminishing that. I'm not saying that,
no.
But that's the very point of this conversation.
If you want to.
Yeah, the very point of this conversation is we need to be leaving less behind, given the benefits that we are all experiencing at this time. This is a time that we need to dig deep, because there shouldn't be, within reason, there shouldn't be anybody being left behind right now.
If you look at the disparity between just the classes and the income brackets and the, again, you can't help everyone, right? And I hate saying that even. I think everyone deserves help. I think everyone deserves a little bit of dignity.
Mm-hmm.
And dignity can come in the form of just listening to somebody.
Well, but I think that the notion that there's never going to be enough money, that we're never going to end world hunger, those negative kind of things that kind of loom over us that seem, daunting and sad and all those types of things. But the thing is that if we can evolve the mindset on certain things, certain fundamental things, and develop systems of giving and organizations that are able to give large percentages of what they raise, we can move the needle in a substantial way. So you know what? Maybe we can end world. There was a gentleman. I went to the Boy Scout deal. It was a lunch deal on Friday. And I was a bad Boy Scout. I didn't last very long. But my buddy
Made Eagle Scout.
Did you?
No, not me.
Oh,
no. Your
this
buddy.
guy was unbelievable. Well, my buddy was, but this guy that spoke was unbelievable. And it's just, there was and I'm butchering this, but it just speaks to the issue. There was one of the poorest countries in, I don't know if it was South Africa, but it was Africa. He was able to they had a mortality rate for children, malnourishment of children that was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And in 5 years, with just some fundamental systems and, ability to obtain clean water, because some of it wasn't economic. Some of it was just teaching proper technique to people so they would understand how they can stay healthy and safe.
Right.
And between the culmination of all that, they haven't had a youth fatality from, and I'm butchering the story and there's too many generalities,
Sure.
but they haven't had a fatality from
malnourishment
for like 2 years.
Isn't that?
And it's just like, oh my gosh, it's just, you hear stories like that. And like Sherry Chris, our CEO, we have built, of the parent company.
Yep.
We have built, I can't even tell you how many hundreds of houses in Central America.
Yes.
And we could do that for literally, Jay, $6,000 a house.
Isn't that crazy?
And changing lives. So there's just I'm rambling, but the overarching theme I think here is that if we all took a 40-hour work week, if we all just took an hour to see kind of expand our horizons and look peripherally at what we can do as a society, as an individual, as an organization, to take the opportunity to make our talents, treasures, and time exponential, we can do a lot more. We just can. And I am making up for lost time. I should have done more. We can get in this bubble,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can get
It's
in
easy.
this bubble and everything's great. And, I'm a good guy. I do this or I do that, or I tell the truth, or I'm okay. I care about people. And they're out there, right? There's a lot of wonderful people, but it's the intentionality.
Yes.
That's the thing that I kind of never really appreciated, I think, for a long period of time, or went stretches. It's the intentionality of really looking for the opportunities that are unique and special, where the opportunities are the greatest.
I think, Tom, that we want to rest. We always want to rest. That's the natural human tendency, right? It's not that we don't want to go out and give. It's that we are too quick to rest and recharge and retreat. But people like you and I who sometimes obsess over what can we do next. There's someone else that needs our help. Tom, I've seen it, I've witnessed it with you on multiple occasions, how you're able and you're in a position where you get to help, right? Now, you can't help everybody. Again, I don't know why I keep saying that, but we can all give more.
Absolutely.
We cannot solve everything, but we can all give more. And Tom, before the 50-mile march, before this, what are some of the things that maybe you took a closer look at, or what are some of the things you've noticed even more now, especially in the last couple of years of this whole 50-mile march, or getting involved with the Veterans with Me?
Well, I think I've told you this in the past, Jay, but so without the risk of redundancy, I was particularly moved by your organization and the organizations that are represented in the organization from the standpoint of the charitable giving. Not only because of, but in a big way because of the fact that my father-in-law is a veteran,
right,
and my brother-in-law, and they have they're both pilots, they're both in the Air Force, and then in addition to that, so many of our Better Homes and Gardens agents have a veteran affiliation. They were either veterans themselves.
There is a ton of
them, or they had a spouse or a parent or a child. And just to see, I'll tell you, if you see the pride, you talk about loving your country.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, for sure.
And some of these people, boy, it hasn't been a perfect journey, right? They would have reasons to be disgruntled.
Yes.
They would have reasons to be despondent.
Or just quit altogether.
Yeah.
Give
but
up.
they're the first ones, they're the first ones, carrying the water,
Yeah.
and it's just, and they believe so much in the fundamental reality of freedom.
Yes.
And I just, so that's so moving to me because none of it, here's the thing about the veterans causes. None of this happens. This experiment called democracy.
Yeah.
This experiment of democracy meets capitalism. Perfect, no. But none of this experiment, the United States of America, is 300 years. It's not even that old, right?
Right.
None of this happens without the veterans. The very existence, the very opportunity that we have to live in a free society each and every day without inevitability. That's the other thing. Yes, we do have too much income disparity. Yes, that's a problem.
Yes.
Wealth disparity particularly, but income disparity. It's a challenge. But here's what I will tell you, and this is not a political statement, but this is the truth. We're also the one country in the world where inevitability of your place in the world is not established until you say it's established. So meaning that, some people have their, the card stacked against them a bit, like in all societies and cultures.
Yeah.
But there's no caste system. Like you're not royalty, I'm not royalty.
Right. Oh, yes, I see what you're
there's
saying.
no, it's not, you take a test. There's countries in the world when you take a test, okay, you're going to be a plumber, you're going to be an electrician, you're
Right.
going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a doctor.
Yes.
I'm being a little bit facetious how restrictive that is. But there are no boundaries. Everybody has an opportunity to achieve and reach the American dream. Now it is skewed, and we need to get rid of those obstacles, and that's why children are so critical. That's why the elderly are so critical. You look at, one of the things I think we can take from the Chinese culture specifically is their value of the elderly.
Yeah.
They value.
For
So
sure.
there's all these different countries that
They honor them,
They
actually.
honor. Thank you.
Yes.
They honor them. They're revered. They
Yes.
we appreciate. They appreciate what they've provided. So but I think back to the core issue. None of it is possible without the free. We can't have close the income gap, and we can't do these things. Make sure that children have clothing and that they're nourished. We can't make sure that the elderly exist in a dignified way. We can't take care of some of the mental challenges that folks have and provide the resources, if we don't have a free society that will support those causes, and all that stems from our freedom.
Freedom is not free, my friend.
Yeah, oh my gosh. And it's so to me, if you really want to get the crux of the fundamental kind of structure of our country from the standpoint of what makes everything tick, it's the fact that those men and women stand on that wall.
Yeah.
They preserve, they have the intelligence community. I mean, it goes on and on and
Yeah.
on. And boy, oh boy, they sure don't do it for the money. I mean,
Think about that for a
oh
second,
my
right?
gosh!
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not.
yeah, I mean, no, and I'm not disparaging.
It's not.
I'm not disparaging professional athletes or myself
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you
yeah.
or,
Sure,
or
sure.
or all these other highly paid musicians and all this kind of stuff, and we all those people included, and you and me included, probably do better financially than we ever deserve, but the veterans certainly don't. So, I mean, they're doing it for all the altruistic reasons.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's so to me, that's a really, really wordy way to say but to me, that's kind of the fundamental, is just seeing the impact of our military families, of those that served and now are veterans, the impact that they make on the really great things about our culture and society. That to me is like, at the end of the day, I don't know, to me it's so fundamental, and so it's so important.
Oh, I'm telling you, Tom, at the end of the day, when we do lay our head on the pillow and we don't have to worry about a third world country or somebody attacking us, where if you look all around the world, I mean, you're talking about demilitarized zones and unsafe, continents and unrest, civil unrest. We are pretty lucky. We are pretty lucky, and again, because of veterans, and it's symbolic for what the word veteran itself is just a symbolic word for. For me, it means homage and dues paid. That's how I look at people. And Tom, I'll be the first to tell you, I didn't really care that. I didn't even know what the word veteran meant after I got out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Oh, I did that too. People used to talk around me and they used to say, well, I served in so and so. I never used to speak up. You know why? I didn't know the value. I did not know the value. Isn't that crazy?
Well, I mean, it's a huge thing, and I just having been married to my wife for all these years, and having had these opportunities to be in a fundamental military family,
Yes.
that, and seeing it on a day-to-day basis. I mean, it's not like they go in every day and go, we're veterans, we should be acknowledged. No,
None of them are.
They never would say that. It's but guess what? When they have this coolest. On Memorial Day, they have the coolest little acknowledgement in Panora, Iowa. I shouldn't say little, because it's maybe little in the amount of people because it's a small town, but it sure isn't little in the heart.
Right.
It's got the most amazing, they raise the flags. They bring a speaker in from, outstate. They have a whole ceremony acknowledging. They read the name of every single veteran in that community that has passed during that year.
Oh man, that's hard.
And it is the most moving. I mean, the heartland of America, the things that go on and the values. I mean, there are people that understand and appreciate it, but too few and far between. And it's so easy to just kind of get in our world,
Yeah.
and just take things for granted.
For sure.
But we can't. We really can't, because we have to do the right thing. We have to do the right thing as it relates to our veterans. We have to support these because there are, I know it sounds negative and it's kind of the dirty little word, and we don't really, people want to talk around it, but there's bad things that come from some of those experiences.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
not those folks' fault, I mean,
Right.
It's our obligation, I mean, post-traumatic stress disorder, it's a real thing.
Yes.
And we need to acknowledge it. And it
Right.
doesn't mean that that the military's bad. That's
No.
not a thing
It's
at all.
one of the things that comes out of it. Let's acknowledge it. Just like in
Right.
the NFL, hey, concussions are a thing. You know,
Exactly.
everyone's
Same
getting behind
thing.
that. And I think when it comes to mental health issues, that's something that we're, as a society, we're just delving into now. With both feet. It's no longer, hey, your Aunt Margaret has a problem. No one talks to her. That's not it anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, Tom, I definitely, I just want people to know that my relationship with Tom Simmons is very valued, because I literally asked you to do this Friday or Thursday.
Well,
or something.
I'm like, so Jay, if you could teach me one thing,
Yes.
it's how to not be 10 minutes late. Like, that's
Oh,
got to
man.
be my New Year's resolution. If I could figure that out, it's like, even when I'm going to be on time, I
Yes.
find a way to be it's like the car stall. I don't know. It's like
The car
weirdest-
never stalls.
Yeah, well, that's fair. No, but I'm just saying that's how ridiculous
Yes,
it is.
yes.
It's like it's like this phobia. It's a disease. But no, I think people should know. I mean, the time, I would be scared to know the time, money, influence. Actually, not scared. It would be an unbelievable set of data
Zach?
to know what you've done. From the standpoint of giving back, just in 2021, the amount of hours and commitment. So,
Well,
but you got somebody else you got to talk to.
no, this is Zach. This is Zach, the adopted family, and
Okay.
these are one of the people that are being helped by Moving Veterans Forward. But
Good.
I just wanted to thank you, Tom, for taking the time on your Sunday, on a last-minute ask, and I'm always grateful for that, because you have helped me make a tremendous impact in this mission, helping veterans, and I will never abuse the ask. I will never abuse, I will never ask you to do, put things on the spot. But I just want to tell you, I want to recognize all that you've done to enable us to create something really special.
Well, you're nice, Jay, but I look at it as an opportunity and to continue to perpetuate this incredible experiment called the US of A, and an opportunity to partner with our veteran community who makes that possible. It's not me that makes that possible. It's them. So if it wasn't the commitment and contribution of the veterans, then the very life we experience. So some people say, oh, you deserve accolades for giving. No. If it wasn't for the veterans' commitment to this country, none of this would be possible. So it's not, oh, we deserve these accolades. It's that, oh, you're starting, Tom Simmons and others, to facilitate your responsibility to the great work and the great cause that these veterans perpetuate each and every day.
That's
so
awesome.
that's an obligation. So we should all feel privileged to be associated with people like yourselves and the organizations. And I know Moving Veterans Forward and Guitars for Vets were two that were prominent in this lesson. I hope I'm not leaving others out.
No,
but,
you're not.
But I know those executive directors because we've met with them, and let me tell you, they sure aren't getting rich on it. I don't even
Right.
know that if they take any compensation, that's next to nothing.
They don't.
They take zero.
Right.
How much more can you ask for than that?
Right.
Almost 100%. I think nearly, if not 100%, go directly to veterans.
Yes, it does.
and that's important.
And
right?
that's when we vet our organizations. We want to make sure that it is direct impact.
Can you believe that? I mean, how much more efficient than you get can you get than that? I mean, wouldn't we love our businesses if every dollar we took in we got to keep?
Yes.
We could learn something.
Yes,
from
we
these guys.
could.
But I will tell you that is a big deal, and so I'm very very proud of those two organizations and how you've helped facilitate it. But those two particular individuals have done an amazing job at perpetuating their causes, and you've done a good job of kind of bringing a megaphone to it. So, signing off, buddy, but I'll tell you, I love my pal Jay Morales.
Hey, thank you, Tom.
And he does great work, and he makes everybody around him better. So let's all dig deep.
Yes.
And make it happen. Where are we at with this? Give me the
total
lowdown.
Oh, so we don't. So when you mean so today,
What are we doing today?
Oh, today is the Midlands Community Foundation all month is allowing any directly deposited funds that are made without outside, you're not exchanging it for services. It's direct to them.
Good.
They'll match dollar for dollar up to $5,000 per individual, $100,000 aggregate until January 3rd. So we're doing a few events for moving veterans forward that will create even better. So anything donated today, anything donated until the 3rd using the special link will be matched. And
Wow.
yeah,
And
100%.
say that again. Say that again. So 5,000 per individual?
5,000 per individual. Yes, correct. So if someone donated $3, they would match $3.
Correct.
If somebody donated 10,000, they would only do the 5,000.
Correct. Okay.
But and then
Until they get to 100?
until they get to 100,000.
And how
yeah.
close? How much?
I don't know. I think they're still really junior. We have another event next week for them with Frannet of the Heartland at Hot Shops on Friday. So we're definitely not nowhere near our goal. Ron will tell us, but it's been steady and it just started, but it's going till the 5th of January. But yeah, it's pretty cool opportunity for them. So it's not just a Giving Tuesday.
Right.
It
It
is,
keeps going.
Yeah. It
Well,
keeps going.
thanks. And I'm sorry I
Yeah.
haven't had an opportunity to listen yet.
No,
but-
no, it's all
So I'm
good.
sorry
It's all
if people
good.
are like,
No.
oh my God.
No,
we've
I'm
talked
glad
about
because
this 1,000 times.
no, I'm glad you're letting me do this because this
Yeah.
is my job. I'm supposed to do this.
Well, good. Well, so that's the Midlands Foundation.
Yes, the Midlands Foundation. Yep, Midlands Community Foundation.
Midlands Community Foundation. What great work. Okay.
It is. It's pretty amazing. And look, they can do one time. You can do monthly, quarterly, annual, whatever it is, and it goes directly to them. And the fee that they have to pay is way less than any fee that would be associated with credit card processing, associated with attorneys and tax people. It's a very small percentage that they manage all of the funds for moving veterans forward, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
It doesn't. That's it goes straight through there, and it doesn't even go to any of his accounts or anything like that. So it's straight. And with an organization like this, they create the paperwork at the end of a year to show what happened with all
Sure.
the funds and things of that nature. So that's the way. If we're applying now for the 50 Mile March Foundation is applying for their 501c3. But if
Yeah.
that doesn't come through, we will go through the Midlands Community Foundation, or I should say, we will apply to be able to for them to do that. I think it's cleaner. So.
Yeah. That's awesome, Jay.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Tom.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry about that, Tom.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about that. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Appreciate you.
it.
Thanks,
Good-
Tom.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to have Zach and his wife help us close out the last few minutes. Thank you, Tom Simmons from Better Homes and Gardens, for allowing us your time and again, with all the support that you have given us. And it's off here. Add the overlay. Apologize, guys. It's been a day. Here we go. Hide. Perfect. And so I want to give the microphone to both of you guys, so you'll both have to come, maybe sit on the chair with them, or however you want to do that. There you go. Let's do this. So, and your name is?
Kay.
Kay.
I just go by Kay.
Kay. Okay. So Kay, tell me, you've witnessed some of the work of moving veterans forward. What has it meant to you and your family?
It's meant absolutely everything to us. We were we were at a very low point in life when we met moving veterans forward, and you guys have just been a total blessing to us, honestly. When everything
Game changer.
Absolutely. When everything went down between him and
Sure.
his ex, a lot of everything went missing. So I was like, you know what? We can do this.
Yes.
We're gonna have to get help. It's okay to ask for help, but
Yes.
we can get through this. And so you guys have been an absolute blessing to us.
So thank you for saying that. And here's the thing, when you say it's okay to ask for help, I agree with that 100%. There's somebody listening right now, Kay, who is unsure of the direction they're going, right? They're just had a bad day yesterday. They had a bad day today. They know they're going to have a bad day tomorrow. Talk to that person right now and tell them why asking for help is so important.
Asking for help is one of the hardest things you can do. And I know that. I was in the military for about 6 years.
Thank you for your service.
No problem at all. And it's a huge stigma to ask for help because you think that it means you failed. You think that it means you can't go any further. You can keep going. There are going to be bad days. You can't live life without having bad days.
Well, and if you were downrange, I don't think there's a veteran alive that would begrudge another veteran who would call for support in a firefight or something like that. Well, guys, the American economy is your new firefight.
Yeah.
So in case you hadn't noticed, you need to find a good crew to run with. Yeah. And if you wouldn't go into a gunfight without backup, well, then for crying out loud, don't go into your economics without backup.
Right. And, absolutely.
I mean, we tried to provide a fair world and a fair environment, but it's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's nothing wrong with taking a tactical advantage. And, what I've seen is that the resources keep coming in. Oh, yeah. So you're not depriving the guy left or right of you who you think in your head needs it more than you do.
Right.
Yes.
No, this is for you, so use it.
Yes.
This is the closest thing to civilian
to
supply.
ask for help.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
It's always okay to ask for help. Don't ever feel like that you can't or that you're being a burden onto somebody else. You're not.
Right. Because sometimes when you help someone, it's a gift to you too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not that we're expecting that or anybody's,
exactly.
but you've been in a position before where you've listened to friends and you've probably helped and you probably gave your last sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That empowers you, and Dr. Maya Angelou said, no one ever became poor because of giving.
Exactly.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. No one ever became poor because of giving. So, to close this out, Moving Veterans Forward is a very important organization, in this community. They need people's help. I want you to tell people in your own words what they can do to help this organization.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I used to speak. God, if you can get out and volunteer with these guys,
Yes.
Bodies.
Bodies, right? That's a huge help.
The money's important, but the bodies are
Yeah.
equally important.
Furniture donations. That's
Yeah, we saw that warehouse turnover. Just a guess, 50 to 60% turnover rate in just a couple of weeks of what it looks like. Hi, Andrew. How's it going, buddy? although if you're ever hurting for reasons, there's usually a bunch of these reasons running around somewhere.
Yes, for sure.
I mean,
sure.
I was never going to get help on my own, but for the kids, if you ever saw the movie The Patriot,
Yes.
I'm a father. I can't afford to have virtues.
Right. No, I get it. And asking for help is acceptable.
And the biggest thing that you can really do at the end of the day is you can listen.
listen.
And
Listen well.
the thing with most vets that I've noticed is that most of us have never been asked to speak.
Right?
We're always listening to others, but not too many people listen to what we have to say.
Well,
So-
you're making a difference right now because there'll be people that hear this who are like, well, I serve too, and I'm in a predicament, or I was where they were, and you're an example of what it's like to get better once people rally behind you, right?
Oh yeah, we would never have been able to do what we did on our own, no questions
If it
asked.
wasn't for you guys,
We would have been hurting pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
And we're very
Well,
grateful
I
we don't have to
appreciate
think
that.
about it.
I'm just a volunteer for Moving Veterans Forward. I'm just a volunteer for these guys, and I'm a fundraiser for them as well. But I will tell you that we share the same experience. We've all been in a position where we've all needed help. But I'm so happy to know that your story is moving forward, and it's a community that you are now part of. This is not just some thing that you just stumbled across.
Right.
This is not like, well, I guess that's what happened. No, this is, you now belong. You know what I mean? And in serving this country, is it's a rite of passage that only few will ever able to experience, right? But what we've done is we've allowed everyone to have the rite of passage to freedom. So, and I don't take that lightly. But with that being said, you guys, Zach, Kay, you two have a whole life ahead of you. You'll have obstacles, you will have challenges, you'll have triumphs, you'll have first place medals and eighth place medals, right? It's always going to happen. but what you have for sure is all of us. So
No
we
matter how
appreciate you.
bad you're struggling, there's always a light at the end of that tunnel. Just
There
keep
is.
on pushing.
There is, and it's always not a freight train. Trust me. Trust me.
Murphy's a punk.
Yeah, Murphy's a punk.
I'm
I
gonna
love that.
stick with that one.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.
you.
Thank you, Kay. Very
So
nice
nice
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you.
Zach, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. Okay, guys. So last minute, I just want to tie this all up together. I want to say thank you, especially to Patriarch Distillers. I want to say thank you to Soldier Valley Spirits for hosting us here in La Vista. Thank you to everyone who came out, everyone who donated. We will find out what the actual total was from today. But beyond that is thank you for all of you who jumped on and encouraged us and who donated. And this is the first of many events that we'll have. But thank you again, Matt Bills, for loaning me some of this equipment. Thank you to Kim Davis. Thank you to the volunteer board of Moving Veterans Forward. It's been really amazing. Kathy, Rose, Mitch, and it's just thank you to the VFW for coming out today. Kathy Raby always has amazing surprises. She's such a good soul. And if you could follow her blog, please, because you might learn one or two things a week from it. So thank you all. Again, Jay Morales here, signing off for the very first Operation 6 live online fundraiser. And what a great learning experience. What a great opportunity. And we'll see you. Be safe. God bless. And enjoy your holidays. And do not forget, December 7th is the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. So for those who all came before us, for all those who served before us, Pearl Harbor, December 7th, is the 80th anniversary when they were attacked, when America was attacked. We'll talk with you all soon. And just remember, when you see a veteran, tell them you'll never forget.